so I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me. And I can hold it much longer. Gonna let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Can't believe it. We're in Orlando, Florida.
I thought I'd permanently gotten rid of you, but unfortunately, Brock, he's like a cockroach. He just keeps showing up.
I keep coming back, baby. They keep letting me in the door.
I
mean my door.
No, I don't even let him in the door.
I'm at my. Oh, you're talking about Scott. I thought you were talking about me.
No, not you. I was talking about
liked
Scott.
where you were going with that, though.
I like you, Brock. You're good.
Okay,
You're good.
perfect.
Let's definitely misquote AJ right from the jump here.
Yeah.
That sounds great. And I brought you a present.
I have that.
I brought you another one.
I have two now?
I bought this one. Did you buy yours?
Yep.
You did?
No, hell no. Brock, do you have
Kratz'
your Kratz book yet?
And
I've already
Kratz
read
is
it,
an
man.
everyday grinder.
I've already read it.
No, you didn't.
Start to finish, cover to cover.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was
I'll read it.
too.
I'll read it to Lakin every night before bed. puts
Well,
right
Kratz
to
is on vacation
right
this
to
week.
sleep.
Hard earned.
Wait, did he sign that one?
No, I just got it from Amazon.
You
Fresh.
seriously bought it?
I seriously bought it.
Why?
I have the receipts. I'm contributing to my friend.
Oh my
I want him
gosh.
to hit the bestseller list for the New York Times. Sorry about it.
That's nice of you.
Thank you. By the way, we have merch. AJ's wearing the shirt, foulterritoryshop.com or foulterritoryshow.com. Any other website, fake news, not real. Have you heard about this?
No.
We didn't talk about this. There's like 6 to 8 scam sites that are selling Foul Territory memorabilia and gear, I guess. Like
Really?
shirts, sweatshirts, whatever.
Brock has that. Brock's in charge of that too. Look.
Did you see
What'd you do?
did you see the news yesterday on Twitter? I got a couple phone calls asking if I was dead. Someone
What?
had tweet someone
You
had
died?
yeah, someone tweeted that Brock Holt passed away at age 35. I'm here to tell you I'm alive and kicking, baby.
Oh man, I thought that's because you were coming on the show today, so people didn't want anyone to watch. So they're like,
So
he died.
people are scamming Foul Territory merch and trying to kill me off.
Oh my
Damn,
gosh.
must be some Yankee fans.
Probably
Shit
so.
is serious today.
I mean, at least they didn't tell you like to drink bleach like they did to the Rays guy. I mean, what the hell's happening in this world? Pete Fairbanks, like the nicest guy in the world, throws a wild pitch and people are telling him to drink bleach.
To
Like,
off
what's going
himself. Man.
Yeah, this is dude, this is too much, bro.
Maybe he was kidding.
Who?
The guy who said it.
I mean, last time someone said that and they were kidding, people didn't take it that way. So I don't know you can take it that way.
No, I know. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Anyway.
Like, come on, people, be better.
Hey, today,
Isn't that serious?
I agree. Happy birthday, Ryan Helsley, FT regular. And also, Ken
Tor-
Rosenthal is going to join us in 15. Tommy Kahnle in hour number 2. And Roger Clemens.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to Rocket. Him and Piazza are going to have a boxing match. Brock.
Yeah,
Sponsored by Foul Territory.
That's going to be
teaser.
my lock of the day is who I'm taking in the celebrity
Ooh,
boxing
okay.
match.
Okay.
I like it.
Good teaser.
By
Good
the
teaser.
way, happy birthday, Torrey Hunter, too. I know he's not an FT regular, but he's a teammate. And a
Yeah,
good
good
dude
player.
all around.
Yeah, and you'll see in an upcoming Legends territory, Pudge Rodriguez threw his name into the mix for a competition. That's all I'm going to say. All right, enough promoting. Let's charge the mound. Shall we? Yes. Powered by Teaser. So, the Angels seem to be playing in exciting games on a nightly basis.
Mhm.
Agree?
They are. They're winning some and losing some.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're coming back, then just blowing leads, then coming back, winning in extra innings. Ohtani homers every damn day now in the 7th inning, past the 7th inning.
Do you know what he's on pace for?
Shohei, you've already got the MVP locked up, okay? Stop showing off now.
No, he
Stop
doesn't.
showing off.
No, he doesn't. He does not
What do you
have.
mean no?
He does not have the National League MVP
Oh my gosh. Now
locked
you're
up
just
yet,
being
Brock.
Who, Shohei? You think
Yeah.
you think he's moving leagues? Hot
He
take.
might. It was brought up in Fair Territory on
Well,
Ken's show.
Well, if
Somebody
if
asked him about that.
How does that work if he gets traded midseason? Is it him versus Acuna if he ends up in the National League or what?
Ooh.
Yes, but I don't think you carry the American League stats. And you can ask Ken about this because he brought it up in Fair Territory. So I'll put it on our question list coming up. So
Yeah,
keep
let
an
me
eye
ask,
on
let me
that.
ask let me ask that one. I never know what to ask Ken, so let me ask him that one.
Okay, don't forget it then. You're gonna
I'm not.
remember.
write that down.
It's in
I'm
10
writing it
whole
down
minutes,
right
Brock.
now.
Hey,
I'm writing it down
Brock,
right now.
Brock, here's the only way that Ohtani won't win the AL MVP is tragically if something happens and he doesn't play anymore, he gets hurt, which we don't want to see, or he gets traded to the National League, because then people will be like, well, he didn't finish the year in the American League, so he can't win.
And then who wins it? Then who wins it in the American League?
Ooh.
I don't
Adley
know.
Rutschman's a candidate.
Is he?
Yeah.
No.
Adley.
Yeah, he'd be up there, I guess. I'm trying to think of other people in the American League.
See, look, we can't even think of one because it's Shohei Ohtani
Yeah.
by a mile.
It would have. Maybe Simeon would get some love.
Simeon.
Seager?
I
Simeon?
picked Seager. I picked Seager preseason.
Jonah Heim?
Who's don't they come out with like midseason polls like one through 5? Who's behind them? I don't even know.
Rushman. Jeez. Nobody on the Blue Jays, really. Rays don't really have a guy. Randy? Yankees, nobody. Sean Casey?
Wander Franco.
They need to fire Casey already, man.
No, stop. Let's get to that game, though, for a sec. So a few things that stood out, and then we'll get to Ohtani. Did you see how many pitches Griffin Canning went?
No.
120.
I love it. Why?
What do you mean, why? They just decided our playoffs are right now. Unless we win, like, every game for the next week and a half, we might trade Shohei Ohtani. And you're right. Shohei's ridiculous. He's got 35 homers. He has now passed last year's total. He had 35 last year. He has 4 homers in his last 5 games. He is on pace for, who wants to take
60.
a guess? Yes, that's correct.
60 homers. I saw that.
Yeah.
After that 2-run dinger to center. So if you look at Judge last year, he had 36 home runs through 95 games. And in that 95th game, he hit 2. So Ohtani is at 35 home runs through the same amount of games.
2 questions. One, will he be able to make it to, if they fall out of it, will they just keep playing him every game?
I would say it would be easier.
Really?
Yeah, that's all you care about at that point. If he's on the Angels, then they're just going for the home run record.
Going for records.
Does he stop pitching?
Why?
I don't know. Same thing we had
No,
yesterday.
he has a clause in his contract. He's got to pitch to earn all his money.
No,
That's a
gonna
lie,
be
but
his
if you
free-
watched yesterday's
Brock
show,
didn't watch
AJ
yesterday.
talked
Yeah.
about it.
I asked that question. If when he signs a free agent deal, does they have to get a clause that says, what happens if after a year he's like, I don't want to pitch anymore, guys?
Yeah.
AJ doesn't trust Ohtani.
No, I don't trust money. I mean, if I'm him, I'm like, ooh, my elbow's sore. I can
Yeah.
make 60
No,
million
you
for
like
being
to
DH.
play. You would
I
want to do
understand that,
both.
but I also didn't pitch and hit at the same time.
I know. I get
Yeah.
what you're saying in the future if he gets hurt or
Yeah.
something.
He
you
gets
want
to the
guarantee.
point. Yeah, he gets to the point where he's like, you know what? It'd be just easier to just do one of these things. So, you know.
Can I throw one other thing out there on the Yankee side, and then I have a Shohei update? So, do you know? You already know the answer, and Brock, you probably heard this too. So I'll let everyone else guess. The last day that Anthony Rizzo hit a home run, and he's playing basically every day. Did you hear us when we went over this, Brock?
I heard it. I'm not going to tell the audience.
All right,
I
I've given
heard it.
them 7 seconds. May 20th.
That's crazy. Crazy. In
He's
Yankee
got
Stadium,
double-digit homers. He's got 10 or 11, but May 20th.
yeah, but in Yankee Stadium, you can break your bat and have him fly out to right field, and he
It's been a
stands
minute.
right on the dish.
They need power.
They need a miracle right now. Sean Casey, as Brock said right now, ain't the answer. I mean, it's only been 3
yeah. Let's give him a few more games. I don't want to fire him yet.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Like, you can come in and listen, I love Sean Casey. You love Sean Casey. Everyone that's ever been around Sean
He's
Casey
great.
loves Sean Casey. But what's he going to change if they don't hit? I mean, until Aaron Judge comes back, this has been a problem for 2 years now. With Aaron Judge out of the lineup, the Yankees aren't good. And they're old. I mean, Donaldson's on the IL, right? Stanton's hit a couple homers last few games, but Rizzo hasn't homered in 2 months. Trevino and Higashioka have done nothing this year offensively. Torres isn't really doing much. It's kind of a team effort here. And it sucks that you're Aaron Judge and everyone's like, when are you coming back to save the team? But that's what you do.
But the crazy thing is Aaron Judge, like when he comes back, he's probably going to save the team. Like it's funny that we say that, but like that's what he did last year, you know? And like that offense is completely different when he's in the lineup. And he's proven that year in and year out. Like he's out of the lineup, they stink. He's in the lineup, they're good. It's crazy how much one guy can affect that lineup, but he does it.
Ohtani's basically carrying the Angels lineup right now.
Oh my gosh, dude!
What?
Did you see the thing where they walked?
Are you saying, "Oh my gosh," like he's amazing, or we're talking about him a lot?
It's like I don't know who you love more, him or Ellie.
Ellie. Ohtani is relevant right now because he's having a historic season. You like I threw that in there. Historic season. The trade conversation's coming up pretty frequently right now, and the latest report.
They're not trading him. They're not.
Okay, the
I know
latest
everyone's saying that
report.
they're not because Moreno won't do it.
Did you see what John Heyman said?
I didn't.
He said Artie Moreno will not trade him to the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah. No, that was Ken that came out with that. Ken said that.
No, I think it was Heyman who brought it up yesterday. Oh, ask
Ken brought it up this weekend. We talked about it this weekend on Fox. You should watch. It's a great broadcast.
Nah, I'm good. You're on it. I get enough, AJ. I did. I watched your game 2 weeks ago. I missed yours this past week, but I got it 2 weeks ago.
Ken talked about it before the game.
Well, then this is something we should bring up to Ken because Heyman tried to scoop him yesterday.
Heyman's.
I love when there's good. His former teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we'll get into that. But my answer to that report yesterday was, duh. Do you think Artie Moreno is going to trade Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers to help them potentially win a World Series? If he leaves, he leaves. It's not under his control. He's not trading him to LA. That's why I
remember he changed their name to Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
At Orange County, Coast Plaza Center, Costa Mesa, Huntington Beach, whatever. Like, dude, you're the Anaheim Angels. You're the Anaheim.
Anaheim Angels of Shohei Ohtani. Maybe they need to put Shohei Ohtani's name in the team name to maybe get him to stay.
We went over that too.
Maybe they could be the Los Angeles Ohtani Angels or Shohei Angels.
I don't think he even wants that. But by the way,
the worst part about this whole thing is we haven't even heard from Shohei. Shohei could be just
yes, we have.
Not really. I mean, other than
he said he hates losing the other day.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to hear him come out and be like, you know what, Artie, trade me.
No, not his style.
I think it'd be awesome if he did.
If
he was like, trade me to LA?
He might do. Well, then he won't.
What if he did?
It's not up to him. My thing with Ohtani, as we watch, also, can we get a word, Brock, on the bat flip, because we're going to talk about that in a sec. So
bat flip's
out of
great.
10?
I mean, just because it's him and the instance that he hit that, I give it a 10. But this is my favorite part right here, the yell around the base, how fired up he was.
You know what we're missing in all of this too, by the way? Yankees are in last place. And there's context to that bat flip, which I don't think that you might. They intentionally walked him earlier in the game, first and second, 2 outs, to get the Mickey Moniak got out of it. That time, would you have walked him? Runner on first, 2 outs. Mickey Moniak hit behind him. They don't walk him. He goes deep to left center. Bat flip. Did you see Trevino's reaction? No, what the fuck are we doing?
Mickey Moniak's hitting behind Ohtani.
Well, who else is going to hit behind him? Trout's out, Rendon's out. I mean, Phil Nevin's trying whatever he can.
Man.
But yeah, there was a little more than just I hit a tying home run. Like there was some fuck you walked me earlier in the game. I'm going to show you. You should have walked me again, bitches.
He did the sprinkler.
Did he?
Well, it twirled really quickly.
Oh, it was nice. It was good.
It looked effortless, but it flipped.
And it went quickly. Far too. It's not like it was one of those towards the Yankees because the Yankees dugout in Anaheim's on the first base side. So that was towards Boone. And I think they showed Boone's reaction after, and he's just like, fuck me.
Keep it simple. Yeah. Just don't let him beat you. It's the one dude.
Barry Bonds treatment?
Close. Right now, you know what I believe in? Hot streaks. Do not pitch to him right now. Obviously, early on in the game, nobody's on, nothing. Okay. But late close situations. I mean, he has 3 consecutive games with homers in the 7th inning or later. Do not mess with him right now under almost any circumstance.
Yankees are in last place.
Right. This would have helped them not be in last place.
Yankees are in last place.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that sentence this late in the season.
Crazy what's going on. And then real quick, did you see the pitch to Chris Taylor?
Yeah, thank you. Help me hit the over. Love you, Chris. CT3.
Hey, Claudia, how's
0-2
it going?
pitch right down the ding dong for a grand slam.
Yeah.
Yeah, down 4-2, make it
Down
6-4. Cover the over. Yeah, that was awesome. I love that.
He fouled off
Better.
4 pitches. Who was it, Baker? He kept trying to go up in the zone, and it was like,
Also,
dude,
I
you're
can
not
turn
going
off the
high
light
enough.
above me
You
if
know?
want. I don't know if that's China.
Yeah, he was trying to go high. And I don't know, Brock, if you watched the game, but the Orioles announcers, I think it was Ben McDonald and what's the other guy, the play-by-play guy's name? I forget what his name is.
For the Orioles?
For the Orioles.
Kevin Brown?
Kevin Brown. I was going to say he's a pitcher, but I know he's not.
It's that Kevin Brown.
Yeah, it's
Right?
not that Kevin Brown.
No, it is.
But so he was throwing them probably like belt high,
Yeah.
and they're like, he just needs to throw it a couple
Yeah,
inches
I
higher.
hear you.
And he did it 3 times in a row, and the third one it was like whack, and as soon as he hit it, you're like, oh yes, I covered my over.
That's not like if you were behind the plate, would you have been like, dude?
I would have done the Trevino. What the fuck?
This is not the spot.
So he wanted to go a little higher and he missed. He threw it a little lower than he wanted, and then
Yeah, I mean, instead of throwing it here, he threw it like here.
yeah.
Mhm. And that was the game. That was the game right there. So Orioles Dodgers, good series. So we'll talk more to Ken about all of this coming up in a sec. Visit TizaEnergy.com and use discount code FOUL for 20% off your first order. And Roger Clemens is going to come on soon to tell us more about that. We'll intro our first poll question of the day when we swing back, and we'll bring on Fair Territory star Ken Rosenthal.
All right, this one comes from Jamie Pote. Jamie asks, or says, I think the Red Sox are buyers. Do you see them going after guys like Drew Smyly or Shane Bieber, controlled type starters? Well, Shane Bieber is really questionable right now. Just went on the injured list. I don't know that he will get traded while there are physical questions about him. Remember last year, Frankie Montas came back off the injured list. Actually, I'm not even sure he was on the injured list, but he came back. He had these shoulder issues and never really got right. So teams are going to be really wary about Shane Bieber. Drew Smyly, if the Cubs sell, sure. He hasn't pitched as well lately as he did earlier in the season. I would think a Kyle Hendricks would be more attractive to the Red Sox. And yeah, you want a guy under more control if you can get him. But the Red Sox are 2 games out in the wild card race, tied with the Yankees. 2 games out, tied for last in the AL East, but just 2 out in the wild card race. They're in a position where I think with some more pitching, and honestly, maybe 2 starters would help, they could be a very interesting team. But let me explain to you why we interviewed Shohei when we did. We have to wait, first of all, until he comes out of the game. So he came out of the game. The next inning was the time we could do the interview, and he had to agree to it. It's kind of on his terms, folks. So that is what happened. The timing was strictly coincidental. I had no idea that was when the chant was going to come on for Brent Rooker's at bat, the 1A in the game. So forget that conspiracy theory. I love conspiracy theories. I'm all for them. But this one, not really. No, wasn't happening.
We are back on Stadium. Braun, Pierzynski, Brock Holt, and Ken Rosenthal joining us right now. Before I introduce Ken, though, let's roll the Fair Territory promo one more time, please. Can we throw that up there? The star of Fair Territory joining us on Foul Territory, and Fair came out yesterday, as it always does, every single Monday. You can follow it on YouTube or wherever you get your pods. Ken, great to see you. AJ is in a feisty mood today. I'm just warning you. How are you today?
I'm good and ready for what AJ might have here.
Ken, how was your
Fantastic.
rain delay on Saturday?
My rain delay was great, AJ. How was yours?
It was great until you came up in the booth and made me move from my seat, and then the lady yelled at me.
He
And,
kicked you out of your seat?
yeah, because
That
he had
is
to do
so
his hit.
Ken.
He had to
The
do
elder
his hit.
statesman.
Scott, let me explain exactly what happened. I kicked him out of his seat because I had to go on television, which is kind of what we do, and I couldn't do it from the field because it was pouring out. But of course, when you've got a diva like AJ in the booth, these things are going to happen. He's going to get his feathers ruffled.
You know what happened? The true story is they said, Ken, you got to come up because there's lightning in the area. And I said, Ken, you're fine. No, lightning's not going to hit you.
The short jokes
Lovely.
never get old, AJ. I've only heard them for 60 years. It's amazing. They never get old.
You're that young, Ken?
Not young, brother.
All right.
All right, so let's start.
No, I'm going to ask the first question because
I have a fan question.
Okay, no. Ken, what was your report on Saturday about Shohei Ohtani?
Okay.
I believe we were talking about the chances of him getting moved, and I continue to.
What did you say he would not go to?
I did not say he would not go anywhere.
Oh, I thought you said maybe we were just you and I talking that you didn't believe he would get traded to the Dodgers.
Oh, well, I will put it this way. The Dodgers do not believe he would get traded to the Dodgers. And yet when you talk to others, they would say, well, if Artie Moreno ever relents here and decides to trade him, why wouldn't he want the Dodgers in the mix? It's 2 months, for goodness sake, and you'd be getting some of the Dodgers' best players. So that's the Dodgers' belief, and maybe it's accurate. I don't know. But really, all of these conversations that we're having, and they're productive, fun conversations, but they're irrelevant until the Angels actually decide that they're going to do this. Now, keep in mind, they're 5.5 back in the wild card, not insurmountable. And after they get through the Yankees, they've got the Pirates and Tigers. They've also got the possibility of Trout coming back and Drury coming back and some others as well. Ben Joyce in the bullpen, Sam Bachman in the bullpen. So they're not just ready to give up on the season yet. I know we all want them to in a way. A lot of people want them to. I don't really care one way or the other. They do whatever they want to do. But it's not to that point at this particular juncture. We're all speculating. I'm going to speculate some more when I write tomorrow. But I just don't see right now that it's necessarily going to happen.
Oh, AJ brought it up because John Heyman said yesterday, Artie will definitely not trade Ohtani to the Dodgers. So AJ was like, no, Ken said that first. So there's a little, insider back and forth going on.
I was giving you credit.
No. It is the Dodgers' belief that Artie Moreno would never trade him to the Dodgers. That's what they think. But I hate to deal in absolutes at this time of year because you often look stupid. And even the absolute, which is not an absolute, but we've been talking, and I've said it repeatedly, I don't expect this to happen. That's not an absolute. If the Angels collapse, in my view, pressure will mount on Artie Moreno. Maybe he doesn't care. He's the owner of a team with arguably the greatest player of all time, a player who, by the way, is having one of the greatest seasons of all time. Maybe you don't want to give that up. Maybe you don't want to give up the extra income you get from having him on your team. I don't know exactly how that works. There is a lot going on here, and there's the emotional connection. Now, granted, we say all this, and we know that the Angels, if they take him to the end of the season, make him a qualifying offer, and he rejects it, then they only get a draft pick in return. They certainly can do better than that in the trade market. But all of these factors are coming into play. And as I've said before, this is not my decision. It's not AJ's decision, not Scott's, Brock's decision. It's not any fan's decision. It's not any other club's decision. One guy matters. That's Artie Moreno.
Yeah, Ken, and if we are talking about Ohtani getting traded, we were talking about this before we had you on. What happens? I'm curious as to what happens with the MVP vote since he's in the American League. If he gets traded to the National League, do those stats carry over, or is it just from when you get traded to the end of the season? How do they vote? Is it Ohtani versus Acuna? If he does get traded to the National League, how does that work? I'm curious.
Brock, it's really interesting, and we had this question on my show yesterday from a fan. People are wondering about this, and first of all, the way the BBWAA rules work, and I checked this with our president, Shai Davidi of Rogers Sportsnet yesterday, he could get elected MVP in both leagues. Could. Realistically, would that happen? I seriously doubt it. He'd only have 4 months in one league, the American League, and then he'd only have 2 months in the National League. He's going to be the MVP. Let's say this happens over Acuna or Mookie Betts. It's hard to imagine. But in theory, could it happen? Yes, it could happen.
Wow. Hey, Brock, wait, bring Brock back up for 1 sec. I just want to look at Brock. Where are you at? There it is. Ken, you notice anything? Brock is. Sorry, I was dying. You've got the horns behind you.
Right out of his ears.
They're coming out of your ears.
I
Brock.
strategically placed those horns because I knew Roger Clemens was coming on. Hook 'em, baby.
wow.
That's pretty good. That's strong right there.
Did you go to Texas?
No, I didn't go to Texas. They didn't want me, man.
Wait, we went to where?
They
Baylor?
didn't want the two-time All-Star.
I went to Rice.
That's right. Okay.
My junior college coach, Skip Johnson, went to Texas. He recruited me to go to Navarro and then went to Texas, and he tried to recruit me there, but they had already signed a couple infielders. So he said, hey, Rice. He told the guy at Rice to go get me.
Wait,
and
hold
I
on.
ended up
Wait.
at Rice.
Hello? Jose Cruz Jr.? Oh, Brock went to Rice? Oh, why is he hooking him? Okay, I'll tell him. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Tell
All right,
me.
my turn.
Jose said you're not welcome at the alumni games anymore, Brock. I'm just saying.
Just invite me to the alumni golf tournament. I don't care about the alumni game.
Ken, so you've covered this week, and I think there's a lot of flip-flopping going on between everyone. So Ronnie in our chat said, Scott, you think the Padres are sellers now? I'm like, forget me. Let's ask Ken, because I know you've been covering this and really thinking about this, because I know you've written about how much they could do, like in terms of selling if they do. But, I mean, they're further out of a playoff spot than the Angels are. Now, I think they have a better chance still of making it, but where are we on the Padres? Is it a day-to-day situation?
I believe it is. And a lot of teams right now are in that situation. The Angels are in that situation. The Mets, to an extent, are in that situation, even though it certainly looks like they'll be sellers. You can talk about the Cubs. Looks like they'll be sellers. Not totally decided yet on any front, because it doesn't have to be decided yet. We're on July 18th. The deadline's August 1st, almost 2 weeks away. Actually, it is 2 weeks away. So there is still time for some of these teams to kind of reverse course. And let's face it, with the Padres and the Mets, we've been waiting all season for them to perform the way they were expected to perform. If the Padres start doing that, they're not going to sell. They're averaging 41,000 in home attendance. They've got tickets sold for the rest of the year. They do not want to sell. They want to compete. They want to try. But my point in what I wrote yesterday was that if it's not looking promising for them, then they could control this deadline in a different way than they've controlled deadlines in the past, because they'd have arguably the best starting pitcher available, or one of them, Blake Snell, another good starting pitcher, Seth Lugo, the top closer, Josh Hader. And if you wanted to keep going, you could trade Juan Soto, who has a year of control left, but still would have a lot of value. And if you're trading those other three guys, you're probably not signing Soto to an extension. He's a Scott Boras guy, likely will go to the open market. It might behoove you to do that as well. So if they do decide to pivot, and A.J. Preller, their general manager, hasn't ruled it out, just as general managers don't rule anything out this time of year, then they would be a very interesting team in terms of what they could offer.
Do you think there's a blame game that's going to take place there soon? A.J. Preller is getting close to a decade of time there. Whether it's him or someone else, I mean, the owner is a star. I mean, he's spending money on the team. He has captured the city, like you mentioned, with the attendance, the star power. They've certainly built up, quite a farm system over the years, and they've traded many of those players away in order to make themselves better. They handed out extensions like Oprah was giving out cars on her show back in the day or whatever. But eventually, I know if I was running a team, I'd be like, this is someone's fault, because this team looks way too damn good. Is it a GM, manager? What do you think's going through ownership's head in a situation like this right now?
Well, the owner, Peter Seidler, has been extremely loyal to A.J. Preller and generally speaks extremely highly of A.J. Preller. And the points you're making, Scott, are points that I've made in print and points others in the game have made. A.J. Preller is great at identifying talent, no question about that. Great at collecting talent, not much question about that. Is he great at roster construction, building a complete, cohesive 26-man roster? We haven't seen that. And the other part of this, going back to what you said about him being there almost 10 years, he tore it down once before. 2015-16, remember, they built up and then they tore down. How many times did the GM get the chance to tear down twice? How many times did the GM get the chance to get all of these players, trade for them?
White Sox.
And No, not to this extent, AJ. And it's pretty rare when a GM can do this and do it over and over again, or actually twice, and still keep his job. That said, if the owner believes in AJ Preller and is still fond of him and thinks he's the guy, then he's not going to fire him. But people around the game do ask, while we're admiring AJ for his great strengths, which are great strengths, they do question his ability to put together, as I said, a championship roster. Hasn't happened.
Well, here's another guy, Ken, I want to ask you about that's been in their position for a long time, John Mozeliak in St. Louis. He came out yesterday and basically said, everyone's open for business. I'm going to give you a list of names I kind of compiled that could be for trade. Cabrera, who obviously got DFA'd yesterday, so he's obviously the first one. Flaherty, Montgomery, Gallegos, Hicks, Stratton, Verhagen, Carlson, O'Neill, Edman. Contreras, I mean, they'd love probably to move him if they could. And then last but not least, a name we talked about on Saturday, their third baseman, Nolan Arenado. Would they move him?
I don't believe so, AJ. And all the others you mentioned, I am sure they would listen on and in some cases be aggressive on. Certainly they're potential free agents. Montgomery, Flaherty, Hicks. For starters, those are guys I think are almost certain to be gone. They're expiring contracts. They're not coming back. Or if they come back, it's as a free agent. That's fine. When it comes to Arenado, it doesn't seem to me that that is their inclination. Mozeliak has been pretty adamant that this is not going to be a teardown. In my opinion, this is my opinion, it would be wise of them to explore trading Goldschmidt and Arenado, getting as much young pitching as possible, and putting that young pitching with that group of young position players that they have, with more to come, and kind of retooling on the fly. Now, you'd be without two key pieces, but Paul Goldschmidt's a free agent after next season. If you re-sign him, you're going to be starting with his age 37 season. I love Paul Goldschmidt. He is a great player, potential Hall of Famer, keeps himself in great shape. If there was anyone you would bet on at age 37, it's Paul Goldschmidt. At the same time, is that a bet you want to make? I'm not so sure it is. So now, if you traded him for 2 pennant races, you'd probably get something really good. Arenado the same. And granted, they both have full no trade clauses. They would control the process. It's always problematic. But if I were the Cardinals, I would at least explore it. It doesn't appear to me that they will.
Well, who's to blame, though, there? Is it Mozeliak? You just mentioned AJ Preller. Is Mozeliak roster construction to blame?
Yes.
Or is it the
Mozeliak
players?
Put together the team. And, well, it's always all of it, right, AJ? But if you look at John Mozeliak and evaluate him over the last few years, now he's had a great run there. And there's no question about that. They've been in the playoffs a lot. They've won the World Series under John Mozeliak. They've done some special things. At the same time, they traded, we mentioned this on the All-Star broadcast, Randy Arozarena and Adolis Garcia, 2 guys who made pretty good catches in the first inning of the All-Star game. Sandy Alcantara, who has won a Cy Young. Zach Gallen, who might win a Cy Young. They haven't gotten much for these guys. And in recent years, they haven't fared well in free agency. Their choices have not been what they wanted them to be. So, sure, I'm sure John Mozeliak would tell you he deserves a good share of accountability for what has happened. And that is baseball. It's the way it goes. No one is perfect, even as I sit here today, or any commentator, anyone involved in the game. Any fan, believe it or not, doesn't know everything either. And it's the beauty of the game. It's the curse of the game. It's what makes it so difficult. But I don't know that John Mozeliak would tell you that he's had a great run here these last few years.
Ken, quit defending your fellow bow tie wearer, okay?
I'm not defending him, AJ. I'm just saying.
Just because he wears the bow ties.
Once in a while he does. Yeah, he's a dapper man.
He is. He is.
I'm waiting for the day when he comes on our show with the bow tie.
Mo or Ken?
Both.
AJ, I can wear the bow tie anytime you'd like. But usually I reserve it for Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. This is a more casual program, okay? Let's smoothly finish with our guy Steve Cohen and the New York Mets. So, yes, I think some fans are going to be like, you guys talk so much about, especially with Ken, the Cardinals, the Padres, and the Mets. No shit. These are some of the most disappointing seasons we've seen from teams in this status in a long time, Ken. And now we're approaching the trade deadline when all of these teams could be selling away players and could be the talk of the trade deadline. So yes, we're going to go there and you're going to write about them. So give us a little bit about what you recently covered, which has to do with the Mets' high-priced talent. Yeah, we know the guys that are going to be a free agent soon, like Robertson and Canna, but I'm thinking about Max and JV. How complicated is it? Too complicated to be able to pull off a deal with one of those two guys?
First of all, Scott, thank you for saying that. And I hear it all the time from people. All you do is write about the Mets. Really? The most expensive team in history. Perhaps the biggest flop of all time. Guess what? They're going to get written about. They're going to get written about a lot. The Padres, not far behind them in terms of payroll. The Cardinals, it's simply shocking what has happened to them. We write about things that are relevant to readers and viewers, and that's the way it goes. And I know if you're a fan of the team, you might not like it. Well, too bad. I'm not here to be your cheerleader and your pom-pom squad.
Tell him, Kenny.
Now, that said,
That was good.
Yeah.
JV and Scherzer, they're complicated. Same reason as Goldschmidt and Arenado for starters, in that they have full no-trade clauses. So the way I put it in print today was they not only can control the process, they can disrupt the process. That said, if you can convince one of them to go, they also have complicated contracts. Scherzer has an opt-out for next year. If he opts in, it's $43.33 million. Verlander has a conditional player option for 2025. That's for $35 million. It kicks in if he pitches next year 140 innings. So not only is there a lot of money on the books this year, about $14 million each when the deadline hits, there's money in the future, potentially. That would have to be accounted for in any trade discussion. Now, the one thing that gives the Mets a huge advantage is Steve Cohen's wallet. He can pay down these salaries, include cash in the deals to effectively buy prospects. So, for instance, let's say you trade Scherzer and you send $10 million of the $14 million he is due this year to the team. You're telling that team, we'll give you that money, but you're going to give us some better talent than you might have otherwise. It all works in that sense. If you take away the following years, which you'd have to account for in some way as well, with some kinds of conditions in the trade. Problem is, until Sunday, Max Scherzer hadn't pitched consistently well all season. Sunday he was great, kind of like the old Max. Verlander the same. They both have had injury issues this season. So if you're a team trading for them, sure, let Steve Cohen pay all the money, but how much are you still going to be willing to give? And how transformational would that be for the Mets, if at all? It wouldn't be. That was the point of what I wrote today, that the deadline will not be a panacea for them. Next year could be problematic as well for them because they've got basically the same group coming back, only a year older, and they're one of the older teams in the major leagues already. While they've mixed in a few young players, they're still quite veteran. So it's a difficult spot that they're in, and that is the point of what I wrote. I started the column by relating a conversation I had with a fan on the field the other day. And the fan says to me, who wants our players, Ken? And he meant that in a way like, I know that people don't really want our players because of contracts, because of inconsistency, for a variety of reasons. And that's the spot they're in. And yes, I will say it again. This is the most expensive team in history, and not by a little, by a lot in Major League Baseball. When they fail, the way they have failed, that is a huge, monumental story, and it's going to be covered, and it's going to be covered exhaustively.
Hey, Ken, on Saturday when we did the Mets-Dodgers game, obviously we called the game the way we saw it. And to add to your point, I got crushed on Twitter because they're like, you didn't mention Senga's great game. You just blasted the Mets the whole time. I'm like, well, Senga, we mentioned 50 times about how well he pitched. And second of all, they played like shit. So what are we supposed to sugarcoat it and say, man, the Mets dropping that pop-up was the best thing I've ever seen? I mean, I just don't get it. Like, what do you want? You want us to lie to you, or do you want us to tell you what's happening? And you summed it up perfectly, Ken. We're not your pom-pom squad. We're going to tell you the truth. And you know what? If you're a fan, it sucks, because when you're a fan of a team that sucks, it sucks.
Now, I will say this. You say we're going to tell you the truth. It is our opinion. And it might not be right. You might disagree with that opinion. That's fine. I have never a problem with a fan who says, Ken, I think you're wrong. I think the Mets' outlook is actually brighter than you're portraying it to be. That's all well and good. That's good baseball discussion. The only time I get my guard up a little bit and get a little ticked off is when people say, you shouldn't even be writing about that. Oh, really? I think I'll choose what I write about, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I could not agree more.
Fire me
Exactly.
up.
Amen.
Fire me
Let's
up.
go. Let's go.
We
It's
got
the same with this show. Sorry, we're going to talk about Ohtani, Cardinals, Padres, Mets. It's
Mets.
damn trade season right now.
We
That's
got
what the people want.
We got a feisty AJ and a feisty Ken on the show today. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Ken
I
makes
love
me
it.
Oh, and by
Yes.
the way, I'll have a notes column tomorrow with plenty of stuff on other teams. So you can
There we
look
go.
forward to that.
You heard it here first.
Perfect. Yes, you heard it.
John
here
Heyman can't beat you to that one, Ken.
first. Ken, great to see you. We'll talk later.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ken.
Appreciate you. Hey, and the poll is there for you. Go to watchstadium.com/foul territory. We are looking for the team that you most want to see in the playoffs.
And now, back to foul territory.
That poll is running. Which team do you want to see in the playoffs? QR code on the screen or watchstadium.com/foul territory. Options we gave you today: Brewers, Diamondbacks, Orioles, Phillies, and Reds. We'll close it up in about 10 minutes or so. Let's run last minute game time because it is the best in the biz app-wise or at gametime.co. If you're looking for last minute tickets, which we're doing all the damn time. So, pretty loaded slate tonight. Do we have a game that we would like to smack up Game Time and get tickets for?
Yeah, I'm going to Cincinnati because I get 2 for the price of 1. I
Why?
get the ending of the one game, and then they start a new game.
Oh, true. That's
so I
right.
get the end of 2-2 game in the 8th,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get to watch a whole nother 9 innings for the price of 1 ticket. So
Wow, look at you.
I'm going to Cincinnati for value.
Smart
Right.
pick. Smart pick. I think I'm going Tampa Bay, Texas, watching 2 first-place teams. You got Bradley on the mound versus Uvalde. That ballpark is unbelievable. I've said it before. It's a good place to watch a game. And growing up in Texas, I'm a Texas Ranger fan, so I'm going to Texas to watch the Rays at Rangers.
Give me Padres, Blue Jays in Toronto.
Yeah, we got to go through custom.
I know, and I was thinking about that. But for these purposes, I'm just hoping that I didn't have to go through that. I don't know.
Okay. You're going to
I
go
mean, I'm
watch
playing-
Yeah,
Padres?
we'll allow it. We'll allow it.
You'll allow it? Can I skip
Yep.
customs? I'm
Skip
good.
it.
Okay. I feel like
On your PJ,
you know who I am.
PJ customs are easy on your PJ. You got-
Right. I wouldn't know, but I've heard private jet. That's PJ for anybody that doesn't fly private jets like me. Joe Musgrove. I'm saying I don't. Joe Musgrove for the Padres, who are basically in their playoff mode right now. I mean, you got to go on an absolute heater before the trade deadline. And then the other part of this is I want to see what Manoah looks like. Because if Manoah is anywhere close to what he was last year, the Blue Jays are a completely different ball club. The Blue Jays are good. Manoah, for how many starts that he went, 7 or 8 or more in that first half? I mean, they were losing all those games. Imagine if they won even half of those games, where they would be. They're a pretty good ball club. So I want to see what he looks like, because I think they have a pretty decent rotation. Ryu, I haven't looked at the last update, but he's supposed to be back at some point in the second half too, on top of what they have with Gossman, Brios, if you get him on a good day. Bassett, I like.
Brios has been good.
I know. So there's a lot to like there. So that's my game.
None of them are pitching tonight, only Manoah.
I know. Yes, but I want to see what Manoah looks like. So I'm hitting up Game Time. If you're stressed about last-minute tickets, you shouldn't be, because if you punch up the Game Time app, like we did right here in front of you, you can check out seats like last-minute ticket deals and the Game Time guarantee, meaning you will get the lowest price. And if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time's going to credit you 110% of the difference. There's exclusive flash deals, which I mentioned. Also, if you lose your job, you show proof, and they give you job loss protection, event cancellation protection, all of the crap that you've probably dealt with in other ticketing apps in the past. Game Time just made a list, and they were like, all right, enough of that. We're going to fix a lot of the problems that our competitors have given to the people. So you can also see where you're sitting, which is what you're looking at on the screen right now, images of seat views. It's all there for you. It's the best place for last-minute ticket deals. It's the fastest-growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code FTLive for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. We'll go over our locks when we swing back. We'll close up the poll, and we'll get ready for Tommy Kahnle, one of the best interviews in baseball, and Roger Clemens joining us soon as well on FT Live.
In case you missed it, here's some images from yesterday's action in Major League Baseball.
And now back to Foul Territory.
Back on Stadium, Braun, Pierzynski, Brock Holt, and let's show some poll results. You're looking at them on your screen. Cincinnati winning. I voted for them. Team that you'd want to see in the playoffs just because they've been through a lot of crap. They're America's team. That's really the number one reason right now. Just throw the team out there, and then we'll go through our locks. Which team out of that grouping? Cincinnati's winning, and then it's like the Phillies and Orioles are pretty close for
Phillies
just
were in
throwing
last
teams
year.
out there. I guess there's Philly fans watching. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? Brock?
I think I would voted for Orioles. I want to see the Orioles do it. After the struggles that they've had recently to turn things around, and Camden is one of my favorite places in the world to play. To see that place packed and in playoff mode would be pretty cool for me. Torrey obviously is my guy, so hate to see the Diamondbacks not getting any love, but I'm going Orioles.
I gotta go Reds with the people. I'm a man of the people.
So you're going with the Reds?
I'm going with
Good
the
for
Reds
you.
because, first of all, there's a couple of reasons. One, Scott will cry if they don't get in. Two,
Have you ever seen me cry?
no, but I will if the
I'm
Reds
not a
don't
crier.
get in. Oh, okay.
Just letting
Two,
you know I have no emotions.
they had zero expectations for the year.
Mhm.
And so for them to do what they're doing and calling up their young guys, and I mean, the city of Cincinnati is alive. And for the beginning of the year, remember they were talking about Castellini, the owner's like, who else you want to own? They're complaining about
That was
you.
last year.
Well, that
but
was
yes.
last year, but then it carried over into this year, and they
Yes.
all are like, what's going on in Cincinnati? Now they got a shot to make the playoffs. Let's do it. It's kind of like Brock said with the Orioles. We talked about yesterday who should make the move. The Orioles, yeah, let's go. It has
Both
been
of those
a while.
teams.
It's been a while. So both of y'all, let's go. Step up, get in the playoffs, make someone different.
Let's get some dubs too right now with our BetMGM locks for Tuesday. We look back. I mean, technically, we pretty much swept. Your
No.
Dodgers. Hold on. Your Dodgers Orioles total hit on the bad pitch to
Great pitch for me.
Chris Taylor. Dodgers money line for Kip. Nice. And for me, I mean, Logan Webb destroyed that K prop in my SGP, and it's a 2-2 game suspended in the 8th, and I picked under 10.5.
It could go extra innings.
It's like a no sweat bet. All right, let's see what happens tonight.
No,
Let's
it
see.
doesn't count. It's
To be
void.
continued.
I like your chances.
Thank you. That one's to be continued. Anyway,
I'm rooting
updated
for-
money
when I get
bags
to
for you.
Cincinnati tonight, I'm rooting for so many runs in those 8th inning.
Oh, I forgot you're going to Cincinnati tonight. All right, we got to get Brock back on the winning side of things. He's currently, I believe, the only Foul Territory host who is in the red. Barely.
Small sample size.
Fix it. Brock, your BetMGM lock for Tuesday. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm getting back in the green today. I'm going Yankees. We're having Tommy Kahnle on. I'm taking Yankees money line at -115. Yankees got to get back on track. They're facing a lefty tonight. Stanton crushes lefties. Hopefully he goes deep, maybe for a 3-run, 4-run homer. So I got Yankees to beat the Angels.
Okay.
Got the Yankees scoring runs.
Yeah, he does.
It's risky.
Stanton hitting a homer. He's hot right now, so I like that. Lefty,
Okay.
They usually do better against lefties. He's right about that because they're right-hand heavy. But, yeah, Sandoval's pitching. He gets that slider going, though. Yeah, they're going to have a rough time. But
Change up, too.
I like your
I like his
pick. I like your pick, Brock. For me, I'm going Keller. Mitch Keller for the Pirates. Doing a same-game parlay. 4+ Ks against the Guardians. And I'm going Logan Allen, local guy from Orlando. 4+. So they both have to get 4 or more Ks, and that's -105.
How much you throwing down?
Just 100. I'm
105.
105.
To win a
yeah,
hundo.
Sorry.
And Brock, you're 115 to win a hundo?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And I'll do 120 to win a hundo. I'm doing 100 to win 270. Let's go.
Yes, let's go.
Because it is the FT heater. It is one click away on BetMGM. You can actually find it in there with the pretty FT logo and all of that, okay? So from that game, I've got Baltimore winning, Tyler Wells, 4 or more strikeouts, a hit for Anthony Santander,
Ooh.
and actually the one I maybe feel the riskiest about is the run total. I bought it down, so I'm at 6.5. Like I'm just like, am I gonna get burned where everything else works and the Orioles win like 3-1 or some shit because Tyler Wells pitches well and Groves does too. But no, I'm gonna go with that plus 270. You can join the party if you go into your BetMGM app, and also you can use the bonus code FOUL if you're in there for the first time. Sign up and deposit into your newly created account. You download that app on iOS or Android, or go to betmgm.com. Place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses. And if it does lose, those bonus bets will be available once the wager is settled. Always bet responsibly. Gambling problem or concern, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
By the way, people must be fading me because it's now plus 110 for my bet instead of minus 105. So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
all right. So appreciate all you people fading me.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they hadn't heard it yet, they still faded me up to 110.
Yesterday, it was the reverse, and it was working out well for you. Remember?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So
there it is. Boom. Beautiful. That's in the app right now. Okay. We made it.
Man, that's a lot of things.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I picked Santander to go deep yesterday. He didn't, so I'm mad at him. So
Okay, but that's not a thing.
He's gonna, yeah, it is. And he's gonna make it up to us today, Brock, by getting a hit.
Okay.
Wells is gonna punch out 4.
You good with that?
I'm
right?
good with that. That's the one. The Dodgers winning. I like it because Wells is probably better than Grove.
Yep. So Orioles winning.
And
Yes.
Orioles winning. What was the last one?
6.5 runs total in the game.
Camden
going
Yards.
over.
It's hot. They're going to be sprinklers going in the outfield.
So you feel pretty good about that, right?
Good about it. I like it.
Okay.
It's just a lot of things to read.
It is.
That's a lot of things. That's a lot of things to happen to go right, but I like him. I like those.
Okay. There you go. All right. Hour number 2 coming up on Foul Territory's YouTube channel. You can flip over there. We'll keep hanging out in the comments. I'm the only one that talks to everyone, but it's cool. What? Don't look at me.
I do.
You do. Sometimes AJ pops in there. Hour number 2, Tommy Kahnle is going to join us near the top. And then about 30 minutes in, we will talk to Rocket. Roger Clemens will join us. Lots of questions for Roger. First time bringing him on. Won't be the last time, but first time bringing him on. So he's been much more active in the media this year. Have you noticed that? He's
way
more active on socials. He's like, let's go. Let's hang out, people.
Yeah, I wonder what happened.
You got to ask him, why are you so active now?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, he might fire back at you and say, you're on Twitter this year for the first time.
I'm sad at myself.
Why? Because people are so nice to you on there?
Yes.
Former teammates?
No, just people in general. Former teammates are great. I love my former teammates.
Well, it's a good place to reconnect.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's part of what social media is about. It's like, oh, I've been seeing you since high school. Anyway, we're coming back with hour number 2. Yes, Brock still has horns coming out of his ears.
Gotta let go so I can be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let us run hour number 2 of FT Live. Braun, Holt, Pierzynski today. And a lot of candy pop on the desk.
Oh, so good too. Look at this. I don't know if you've ever had this, Brock, but
I've never had it, man. I gotta get some, man.
Twix.
The Twix one, Cocoa Pebbles, Fruity Pebbles. I'm out on a Fruity Pebble one, but
Really?
You're a chocolate guy, right?
yeah, I like chocolate. I'm more of a chocolate guy.
Dude, you didn't
We
like
have
Fruity
Twix,
Pebbles?
we have M&Ms, we have Snickers, we have Oreo if you're into a little cookie pop.
Sour Patch?
But he likes chocolate.
Oh no, I like Sour Patch. I'm into Sour
okay.
Patch. Yeah.
Are you?
Okay.
How do you not like
All right, well,
Fruity
good
Pebbles?
news. Good news for you, Brock, and for everyone else, because we don't like to go more than a few minutes without doing a giveaway for our fans. Okay?
Here we go.
Giving away this
So
piece of
there
Twix.
is a chance for you to win a little action here with some candy pop or some cookie pop or some cereal pop or all of the above. Like and follow the post that we threw out there. Here it is on IG. All you got to do is like the post. Make sure you're following both Candy Pop and Foul Territory, and you will be entered to win signed Foul Territory merch and variety cases of cookie, candy, and cereal pop. Winner to be announced on Thursday. So we're basically 48 hours away. You have to follow both at Foul Territory Show on IG and at cookiepop_candy pop, and then like the post. It would take you all of 3 taps on your phone to pull that off when you're in IG. Very simple instructions. Just throwing that out there for many of you that have said in the chat, damn, I want to try some of this. Where can I get it? And you go to the stores. Now there's a chance for you to win. So stay tuned.
I mean, it's at every store, gas stations,
grocery stores, the whole deal. Okay.
Yeah.
So good luck. Let's
good luck me stopping.
Oh, he's
eating
ready.
These, by the way.
What?
I said, good luck at me not eating this whole bag.
Yeah, well, you can finish it. Actually, we
There you
sent a bunch very timely. We sent a bunch to Tommy Kahnle. Let's see if he got the order.
He doesn't eat this. He's too much of a
Pop off
well-rounded
right now,
athlete.
Tommy Kahnle. with
He's
the
eating
gamer
some right
mic.
now.
Did you get some?
What's up, guys? Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got the whole box.
There you
It's
go,
awesome.
baby.
Yeah, there's
Gave
like
it
a
all.
whole bag
Gave
of
it
that
all.
thing.
Gave it all away. But
No way.
No way. I'm eating that. Love it.
Hell yeah. What? Hey, Tommy, by the way, because your boys on this show are always like, yo, Tommy Kahnle in a fight against like anyone, he wins. What do you work out a lot? Like, are you a big weightlifter and all that? Because you know the deal with pitchers always. There's this balance where it's like you can't go too hard. Although not yet released, but we had a conversation with Bronson Arroyo, and he was like a power lifter. I mean, you know about this when he was younger, and he was like, screw all that. You can lift. It's no big deal for pitchers. But your thoughts, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't lift as heavy as I once did, I guess. I got a little older. My body didn't recover as well these days. So I kind of had to tone down a lot of stuff. But, yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. Guys that want to, lift heavy, get after it. I think it's better off, It helps you come into the season. We play a 162-game grind. Like, your body's going to get put through a blender. So I think it's not a bad thing to go out in this offseason and just absolutely get after it and come in. You're usually ready to roll.
Tommy, sorry we interrupted your games of Modern Warfare when you put the headset on. We got you between games. We apologize.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I need to get on that.
All right, where are you guys? You guys are in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, we're in Anaheim. Yep.
Okay. Did you see Ohtani's bat flip last night?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
As him being a him being a pitcher.
Great reaction.
No, because this is a legitimate question. Is him being a pitcher, Ohtani, like most pitchers are like anti-bat flip, right? Like you hit it, but he's a pitcher and a hitter. So does he get a special pass at the bat flip because he also is a pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, probably right. But I don't know. I was just a bat flip, That's the thing is like, it gets to the point where he's like he's not staring him down or anything, so he's just watching his homer. So it's usually I get a little tick when you get the look. If you get a look, it's a little different.
Oh, you mean if the hitter bat flips and then looks at the pitcher?
Yeah, that's
And then
right.
like, hey, I got you.
Things a little, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
now.
don't make
Yeah.
it about the opponent. Tommy, I'm going back. I'm going back to the question Scott asked you about. Everyone says Tommy Kahnle would kick anyone's ass. I've heard the same thing. We had the scuffle in 18, I believe.
Yep.
And that was the word on the street. Is like, hey, you guys, whatever you do, don't fight Tommy. So aren't you like a
Oh.
black belt or a taekwondo expert or something like? But when that was the scuffle, it's like, hey, stay away from Tommy because he'll fucking kill you.
No, I got no background, but like I think there's like I have like a switch that people, I guess I don't know. I guess I'm the crazy one. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to Mookie last year about it. He's like, yeah, everybody was like knows like to stay away from you. And obviously we had Judge in right field, and everybody's gonna be like, yeah, I think I'm good on that.
Huge team. Like
Yeah.
Judge, Stanton, all those guys, right? But like everyone was like, stay away from Tommy. So that's the one thing I took out of that whole incident. It still sticks with me today. Like if I ever run into Tommy, I'm gonna be friendly.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Yeah, you
it's
got
just
it, man.
that little, a little tick I guess I got. I don't know.
I love it, man. You got to have it.
Yeah, that's how I pitch. So shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Tommy, on the other side, Yanks, it's no secret, have been struggling to score runs in the same fashion since Judge has gone down.
Yeah.
Enter another nice guy. Sean Casey, the mayor, is in the clubhouse, in the dugout now. So take me through, in chronological order, when you saw the news about Dylan Lawson, when you saw the news and believed it about Sean Casey, when he enters the clubhouse for the first time. Like, give me the whole scope. I've known Case for years, friend of mine. I've worked with him for years. Obviously, he's nice as hell. He brings a ton of energy. So give me everything you got on the Case experience right now.
Yeah, so I think it was, what was it? We went home for All-Star break, and I think literally the next morning that they fired Dylan, I believe. And then it had to be within probably a 24-hour period. Then Sean was hired. So it's kind of a whirlwind. We're gone. Everybody's gone. We're not there. We have a firing and a hiring of a new coach. It was pretty wild. And then coming in, I mean, for me to see Sean Casey as a little, kind of childhood crush there. I was a big Sean Casey fan growing up, as a kid, being a Reds fan. So I was big with, obviously him, Barry Larkin, that whole crew. So to have him come in and, it seems the first couple days he came in and guys were loving it. I mean, he brings a different fire, and we really like it. I think we're attracting to it. Now we just, we need him to get settled in with the guys and, turn this thing around. I know we've been scuffling a little bit lately, and me myself, I mean, obviously all of us we're going to go through a grind at some point. We're going to have the ups and downs. So I think right now, we got Sean coming in. It's looking good. And I just like how the hitters are reacting to him. So it's I think we're on the verge of this the ship turning around.
Tommy, when you met Sean for the first time, did you go up to him and say, "Hi, Sean, I'm Tommy Kahnle. I was a big friend." He's like, "Brother, bro, dude, I love it, bro. I'm so happy that you remember me, bro." And he's like sweating, and his hair's
Always,
everywhere.
yeah, he's always sweating. Oh yeah, first day sweating so much. Oh yeah, and he gets up and he's like, "Oh, bro," I was like shocked. He's like way more kind of energetic than I thought he was gonna be. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it.
And what did the rest of the team say when he enters? And are you seeing him sitting down in front of some video with some of the boys, right? With like Rizzo and some of the others that are, looking for offense right now?
Yeah, I mean those guys, they're going up to him. He's giving them whatever he's got. I kind of glance, we don't really we see each other throughout the day. I mean, those guys, they know like how it goes, but essentially a couple times, I see him passing by. He's talking to Riz, he's talking to DJ. He's helping these guys out. They're looking at video, iPad stuff. Getting ready for the game, and I really like where we're at. I know the results aren't where they're at. We would like obviously to be better, but it is what it is right now, and the focus will be today. So we gotta come in. We're gonna win today.
And I'm sure, as they basically always do, the Yanks will be looking to add some pieces, right, and make your team even stronger when we get closer to the deadline. So I'd like to bring up a fan question here from AJ, who's frequently in the.
It's weird. I'm sitting here and I'm also asking questions.
AJ Early. This is a different AJ. A.J. Who I know is a Chicago fan. He goes, White Sox traded Kahnle, David Robertson, and FT's Todd Frazier to the Yankees for Blake Rutherford and Tito Polo. Neither made it to MLB.
Who?
Stop watching commercials. Blake Rutherford and Tito Polo.
I was trying to get in the chat.
Oh, well, you got to turn your volume off. This is a real show. And then AJ added a little zinger like Rick Hahn is a goof at the end. Not you, AJ. But anyway, so wanted to ask you, because this is around the time that we'll have you on for trade deadline season. what you remember from that experience, what it's like as a player to be part of a trade like that, but then you're also going to the Yankees, which is a franchise clearly you love. You re-signed with them. Plus, your boy Cashman totally ripped off the White Sox on that deal.
Yeah, that deadline, that was pretty wild. It was my first year kind of finally being able to establish myself and kind of hit the next level. So we were struggling at the time. I think with the White Sox, we might have been, I don't know, 8 to 10 games under 500 at that point. And I know, like, the clubhouse was getting pretty bad at that point. It hits a point where, it's starting, you're losing and losing and losing, and it's tough to be around. Everybody's trying to find a way out. But moving on, basically, you get all this news, you're watching it. I mean, you see it on TV every day. I got my agent calling me, telling me that, it's looking like you're probably going to get traded. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, I didn't know what was going on. But it comes down to that day. I think we had a night game. And I think it was D-Rob came out to the bullpen and was basically like, yeah, I'm traded. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to pitch. So I was like, what's happening? And then next thing you know, it gets to the 7th. Usually I'm in the game by the 7th or the 8th. The call comes down. It's somebody completely different than what we've been doing. And I was like, well, this is next inning. Same thing. I think it was like usually we go with Swarzak at this time. He also didn't pitch. So it started to get real weird. And obviously that's when I started to maybe, realize probably just got traded. So we all come in. They pull in, I think, Todd first. Todd gets traded. He comes out and says, obviously, I just got traded to the Yankees. Then they obviously, it was D-Rob, and then finally they called my name, and I was like, wait, what? And then they come in, Rick's in there. I think Jerry might have been in there, but they give you the news. They're like, yeah, we just traded you. It's kind of like almost like a downer when you're in there. But at the time, like, you're doing bad, so like you get traded to the Yankees at the time who were in the playoff race, and I'm like, whoa, this is pretty cool. Like nice. Like I can't wait to see how this is. But yeah, you come out and everybody kind of gives you it's like sad to see you go, man. It's tough. But in your head, you're kind of like, wow, this is sick. I'm going to the Yankees. That's what I was thinking to myself. I'm like, I'm going to the Yankees. I'm about to be in a sick playoff race. But yeah,
from the White Sox. No offense, AJ, but
I mean, I love my time in Chicago, but yeah, at that time it was like, yeah, we're not doing great right now, guys.
But I want to go back to this whole thing. Like, first of all, no, I mean, before Brock, I get it. I mean, it's the White Sox. We Scott and everyone bashes them every day.
I don't bash them every day.
Yeah, almost every day. But, wait, they didn't tell you during the game, so they made you sit in the bullpen and just didn't pitch you.
Yeah.
And then after the game, they called you in.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just tell you during the game? And Jerry was. No, there's no way Jerry was in there. Maybe Rick and Kenny.
I know.
I can't imagine
Rick
Jerry
Kenny
being in there because
sure.
Jerry would have been sad. Jerry lives and dies with the team, so
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been able to sit in there and watch 3 guys walk out and then get 4 guys, Tito Polo and Blake Rutherford and all these guys that I don't think made it, but
apparently I got it more to it now. It was Ian Clark and Tito Polo, Blake Rutherford, and Tyler Clippard.
I've heard of Tyler Clippard.
Right,
Yeah,
Clippard's not pitching anymore,
Clip.
and the other 3 are in the minors.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, that's the most like White Sox way to do things I've ever heard of. Why would you not just tell them? All right, you guys got traded. Don't even bother going out there.
Go in the clubhouse. Don't they
Start
always
packing
say?
your shit because you leave tomorrow.
What do they call it? Hug watch.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Usually you see the hugs in the dugout or
Yeah.
the bullpen, and they decided to wait and just have things be weird.
It sucks too, man. When dudes get traded, like Brock, you'll back me. Like when guys get traded, it sucks because you don't really know what to say to them. Now there are times where like he went from the White Sox to the Yankees, and you're like, damn, I kind of wish I was going with you.
yeah, it's an awkward situation.
Sometimes young guys will get traded for a veteran guy, and they go to like a shitty team, and you're like, oh man, that sucks for you, dude. But hey, we're happy to have the veteran guy coming in. It's like it's such an awkward time because some guys are happy, some guys are I don't know. Tommy was happy.
Tommy was pumped. That's why it was great.
He was in last place going to first place.
Well, Tommy, here. So to finish AJ's longest question ever, the actual question I have as part of this is, what did you say in that meeting? Like, did you say, "Oh, hey, I had a feeling when you weren't using me in my spot in the game"?
No, I just was like, I think I literally just gave the, "Oh, cool, all right, thanks,
All
guys,
right.
appreciate it all," and that was it. It was literally like maybe a minute. I was in there. It was really quick.
And then what?
They kinda just gave
after
me
you say bye
hugs
to the
and-
teammates? Like, what's the next thing? Like, is it an immediate
Oh.
call to the agent? Like, yo, where am I living? When do I need to be there? What's my flight situation? Or does everyone just kind of handle all of that for you pretty easily?
Yeah, the first thing was like just trying to get a bag packed at that point. You're just like pack your baseball stuff. Then you like me, Todd, and D Rob were trying to figure out like we went to the travel guy, get us a car for the morning because we had to play a day game in Minnesota the next day. It was like 12 o'clock game. And it's probably 11:30 right now. And we get back. I get back to my apartment, quickly pack like a suitcase. It's probably 2:30. Next thing you know, our flight. I think it was out. I had to be up at like 6, maybe. I don't even remember, something crazy like that. Get to Minnesota. I think we get there as soon as the game starts. I head out to the bullpen in like the third or the fourth. Next thing you know, I'm in the game. It was like the 6th inning.
Pitching for the Yankees.
There it was, yeah. That was my debut with the Yankees.
You're like, hell yeah,
Unreal.
Yankees are going to use me in my spot.
Yeah,
Dude, the
great.
trade is weird. The trade deadline's weird, man. You remember the clip from last year of Christian Vasquez? Red Sox were playing in Houston, and he was doing an interview pregame, and one of the reporters asked him what he thought about being traded, and he was like, "Huh? Like, what are you talking about?" And he was traded to the Astros right across the way. So just went in the clubhouse, packed his stuff, and walked over.
By the way, I love your shirt, Tommy.
It's unbelievable. Thank you.
And,
I'm trying to get this rolling here. The old
bring it
four
back.
life.
Let's go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The weirdest trade deadline I ever saw was when we had Jim Thome, the White Sox, and they were trying to trade him to the Dodgers. And this was when it was a midnight deadline, and he had full no trade. So we're sitting in the Metro dump, and he's in the hot tub after the game, and me, Canerco, I think Jermaine was there. Like the four of us were sitting around, and he's on the phone. He's like, "Well, they just said they could trade me to LA. It's like 11:45." He's like, "I have 10 minutes to decide."
Because he had no trade, full no trade.
Yeah, and he's like, what do I do, guys? And we're like, you fucking go. We suck. Like, they're in the race. Like, go. And he's like, are you sure? But I live in Chicago. Like, I love it. I'm like, dude, you fucking go, bro.
That's really nice that he consulted with his friends.
Yeah, it was great. But we're like, no, if it was us, we'd all be.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Damn. All right. Anyway, let me move on to a player that's actually on your team. Aaron Judge
All right.
watch. Okay. So give us the doctor's report, like I know you can do. But seriously, I mean, last combo you've had, I mean, I know he's been around the ball club. So,
Yeah.
How's his mental state going through an injury at a time when obviously he just signed a big deal in the offseason too? He's coming off the best season of his life. He wants nothing but to be on the field. And here's the kicker for me. It's so dumb that they didn't have that every major league park doesn't have padding. And some people are like, oh, well, it never had happened before. Who cares? It doesn't cost that much to have padding. Like, there should be no spot like that where you can smash your toe and break it. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean that whole play was just crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. I remember sitting in the bullpen watching him coming. I'm like, he's not stopping. There is no shot he's stopping right now. Just looking at the ball, looking at a ball, him, and yeah, then of course. But Judge, he's been great, man. I mean, I've been around him, for what, 5 years now, 5 seasons. So, but a few of those seasons he was hurt, and his demeanor never changes, man. He gets an injury and he basically gets down to it, and he's trying everything he can to get back to playing as quickly as possible. So just watching him, these past, what, it's been like a month, maybe a month and a half now. I can't. The times, I don't know, but he looks pretty good, and I mean he's moving around BP wise. I don't know. I don't try to ask him too much. How you feeling? He gives you good, obviously, but watching him, I think he looks good. I mean, if he feels good, I know he's going to go. So it's definitely going to come down to his decision, I feel, and obviously a little bit input from the training staff. But I think, I mean, obviously we would love to have him back in the lineup. That's it's a huge gain for us, and just overall, I think he's dealing with it pretty good. I think he looks good. To be honest, I watched him in the outfield throw. I've watched him hit. I watched him do everything so far. So I don't know where the overall pain is right now, but I think he's looking pretty good. And I don't know what the timeline is right now, but I'm hoping, obviously we're all hoping sooner than later.
How would you describe the captain's personality in the clubhouse in general? And then how would you describe it right now? Like, does he talk a little bit less because he's just trying to do his thing and then reemerge? And this is how it is for some guys where if they're hurt, they might be the same exact dude, or they might just try and be like, I feel awkward because I want to be playing. So I'm just going to kind of be a little quieter. And then once I can put the uniform back on and be on the field, I'll be different.
Yeah, I think he may be a little like less like talkative, but in like a sense of, I guess you're like, I know what you're getting at, like, because he's not actually playing, like, I mean, a little bit, but he's still, going around picking everybody up, seeing how everybody's doing. So he's still being our captain, our leader, and he's been great. I mean, he really goes and checks in on everybody, how they're doing, stuff like that. So I think maybe just a little bit, in terms of maybe like a group thing, like getting in front of us and kind of giving us quick speech here and there. It hasn't been, he's not, it's been there, but I wouldn't say it's like as much as usual, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I don't even notice it. To be honest. I don't know.
Tommy,
I'm so out there when I'm in the clubhouse. I'm just all over the place.
Tommy, Herman's pitching tonight. Not long ago, he did something pretty special. He threw that perfect game. What point were you sitting in the bullpen just going, oh, I'm just going to take tonight off. This guy's going to get all 27 tonight. I'm not going to have to do shit.
To be honest, probably not until like the 8th. I mean, looking up at the scoreboard, you're like, oh man, they want to call down here for the bullpen. But
love you
yeah,
guys.
I mean, shit. I got out there, so I was out in the bullpen. And then around the 5th, I looked up. I go, there's no hits. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. All right, next inning goes by. I'm like, damn, still no hits. Obviously, keeps going. I mean, we're in the 8th, and I'm like, I'm looking at the lineup. And I'm going, I don't know if he walked a guy, hit a guy. I have no idea if this is literally a perfect game or a no hitter. Had no clue. So the 9th goes by. He gets to the last out, and I'm running in going, I have no idea what this was, whether it was a perfect game or no hitter. So I run it in. I'm going, oh shit, I have no idea. We're all celebrating. It gets over with. He kind of goes. I find Hark, and I go, Hark, is that a perfect game? He goes, yeah. I was like, oh, all right, sick. That's how I found out it was perfect.
That's great.
I had to literally find out after the fact. What are you gonna do?
Either way, worth the celebration. Were other
100%.
teammates unaware too? Just being like, yeah,
oh yeah. Yeah, there was a couple guys that didn't know. Like, we didn't know whether it was a no hitter or if it was a perfect game. You just you knew because, well, you didn't know because, but like, obviously it was at the 9 hitter, so you're like, that's 27 outs. Like, shit, is this a perfect game? Because literally nobody could remember if he had like a walk and then a double play or something.
Hey, that just goes to show you how much they pay attention out there in the bullpen.
That's right.
Oh
man,
I've always wanted to just go out there and sit. I've always just wanted to go out there and sit in the bullpen for a game and just shoot the shit and see what it's like.
You still can, Brock.
I might do it.
Brock, it would drive you crazy because they're talking about stuff. Tommy will tell you, they're talking about all kinds of stuff. As a catcher, we had to go out there and catch bullpens when you weren't starting. So you'd be out there and they'd have their own conversation. You're like, are you talking a different language? And they're flicking seeds. Oh, you got a pitch. Oh, let's go. They start getting all their shit on them.
Oh, yeah.
Different breed.
That's 100% what it is. Just, we're kind of paying attention, also just talking, shooting the shit, doing all this stuff. And then next thing you know, wham, we got to go. It's pretty much what it is.
Is there like an answer man in the bullpen? Like where you could say, hey, I mean, I guess not because you didn't know, but like, hey, what's going on? Like, is there a perfecto going on right now? Or who's like the go-to scouting report person, whatever it is? Like, the Yanks are, they put a lot of resources into their whole staff, pretty analytically inclined. So is there somebody out there who's like delivering all the goods?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got Hark, our bullpen coach Harks out there. He's the one obviously definitely locked into the game. Like our go-to bullpen guy that's locked into the game. Let me think here. Usually, King. I go to King. I'll just like turn to King and be like, King, what just happened? He'll rattle it off. It's my guy in the go-to in the bullpen. Because there's a lot of times Hark will yell down to me like, he'll yell, Tommy, what's the count? And I'll go, shit, I have no idea.
And you don't have to know the damn count. He's just trying to make sure you're paying attention.
Exactly.
What is this, a pop quiz? You're a veteran. You don't need this shit. What, you don't like how I pitch? Like, I don't know. Mine looks pretty good to me, Tommy.
Now, Tommy's like, I'm going in the 6th or 7th inning, and it's only the 3rd. Why do I care what's
happening?
happening?
Whatever. And also, King's got it.
Yeah, exactly. Hark's been doing that to me since I was like first time in big league camp. Unreal.
So is King sitting there like a little more seriously? Like, is he sitting there like really eyes on the game the whole time and not having the side combos as much?
I wouldn't say so, but he's definitely the one that I feel like is most, like locked in on the game. I try to do less, I guess, and try to save all my whatever focus I have for when I go in.
I like it.
One other distraction that some fans have questions about, Yankees 96 fan here said, Tommy, how is the immaculate grid going? Have you played?
Oh, yeah. It's an everyday thing, we're going, so the way, we got everybody in the team's playing it now. This thing is taken off, obviously. We're trying to get like the lowest rarity score. So I think it's like the culmination of all the percentages that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, somebody, F. Ross has our best. I had it for a little bit. I had like a rarity of 8 one day. And F. Ross got 1. I don't know how he did it.
1?
Tell you. Yeah,
Holy
1.
Shit.
Without cheating?
That's got to be,
That's got to be like the all-time record.
That's the thing. Honor system. Can't be looking it up and putting it in and be like, I got it. It's not the thing. So yesterday I went 8 for 9. Yesterday,
wow.
8. So I didn't get. I missed. I want to say I missed the Astro. I forgot what it was. It was like Astros and Nationals, maybe. I missed that one yesterday. I don't know what I was doing. Or no, maybe it was the Yankees Silver Slugger. I can't, and that's bad.
Not when you play for the Yankees.
That's your squad, man.
I think that was it. I tried to get cute. I find myself trying to get cute in these trying to find that that low percentage, that 0.03 or something like that. We've gotten Hark a couple times, and he's like a 0.03. It's good stuff. I haven't looked at today's yet, so I don't know what it looks like.
Okay, but just give me a few names, and we'll quiz you next time we have you on. But like, give me a name recently that you were like, fuck yes, like you thought of it. It was a low score.
Actually, yesterday, a catcher I played with Charlotte back with the White Sox, Vinny Rotino. He was Marlins and Brewers.
We've had him on.
Vinny Rotino, yeah.
He was on Brew.
By the way, you can always use Eric Kraft. You can always use Edwin Jackson. You can use Octavio Dotel.
Our best the other day was
Dotel.
Dotel. We did one on the show the other day. Yanhervis Solarte.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
That was a good
Angel.
one.
Yeah.
It was on for that one, Brock.
Yeah, it was a Padres
Yankee
Blue Jays, I think.
Yankees guy. He was a Yankees guy.
Yeah, that was a good one for me.
Yanhervis. Yeah, I remember Yanhervis Solarte.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was,
one of the,
we were on
the one. There's no way a one.
Solarte, you think?
No.
Total.
Got 1 for a total.
I know. Nah, I need to see that.
I'm gonna have to see that grid.
He's gonna need to start posting his boards so we can believe what he's doing here. Okay.
Tommy, hold on.
He's gotta go.
I know. No. Are you still Madden champ with your headset and your microphone?
Oh yeah, come on now.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
When we get closer to football season, we'll run through all the cheat codes.
Okay.
Love that. Yes.
Tommy, have fun, man. Good catching up with you, dude.
Appreciate it, guys. Always great being on here.
Yeah, love it.
Thanks,
See you
Tommy.
soon, dude.
See you, boys.
Tommy Kahnle from the New York Yankees joining us on FT Live. We do have another Yankee-related guest joining us soon.
He kind of did something for the Yankees.
He did.
He threw a bat at Mike Piazza once with the Yankees.
That's the one memory.
Yeah.
He threw at me once, but not as a Yankee.
Did he throw at you?
Of course.
Oh, awesome.
Everyone threw at me.
Well, Roger Clemens is going to join us soon on FT Live, so stay tuned. Can we run like one or two hot corners right now? Can I do that before we do anything else? There it is. Sizzle, sizzle. We need that right now. It's raining. There was a rain delay that turned into a suspended game between the Giants and the Reds. First off, really quick update on that. I know we showed the void before. My bet is still in play, just so you know. I got it confirmed. If that game occurs within 36 hours, my bet's still in play. So I might double up tomorrow. You'll be rooting for a ton of runs in Reds Giants. If you don't know what we're talking about, just go back in the show. Later.
Might be a big day for Scott.
Yes.
I'm rooting for all the guys to win. I root for our guys to win.
Yeah, so do I.
Hell yeah. I don't root for our guys to lose.
I know. We text every night. We'll be like, when our bets hit, especially, we're like, let's go. Anyway, we are sorry to see the loss of one of the great grounds crew members to the tarp monster. He was destroyed by the tarp. I think we've got it. I feel like I hear it. Hold on one second.
I saw this happen once live, but it was in like low A ball, and they had to cut the tarp.
To get him out?
Because they didn't know what to do.
Can't you just like crawl your way out to the side?
They say you only have like a little bit of time before you run out of air.
Really?
So there was like you see the guy fall and they just cover him and he's like in the middle.
Is it dangerous? Like, should I not be making fun of it? I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't
but they said, but I watched and they grabbed a
I mean, that thing.
Knife and cut it.
That thing's
and then
heavy.
It just ripped in half.
Oh shit!
And
that thing's heavy.
Was blowing all over the place.
That used to happen to us all the time in junior college. We had to pull the tarp all the time, do it ourselves. We get a text message at like 2 a.m. Hey, we're in our dorms. Hey, about to rain, about to storm. Come pull the tarp. We have to run over to the field and pull the tarp.
What if you're sleeping?
That thing gets heavy.
What if you're sleeping?
You wake up, man.
Dude, they're partying in junior college. They're not
sleeping.
Here it is.
Someone else get eaten by the tarp.
Oh, look out.
Oh, God.
Close.
Gotta move.
Close.
High stepping.
Oh, boy.
There we go.
Mayday.
Oh, no.
He got eaten by the tarp.
He's under there.
They're not even stopping. No pause.
Somebody's going to get him out of
left
there.
behind, fend for yourself.
He's doing the crawl.
Oh, man.
He's under there somewhere.
This is like basic
That's the
training.
move. That's the stop, drop, and roll.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, obviously.
I wonder if you lose your like your bearings underneath there.
It's like pitch black, like in a cave.
Yeah, and you don't know which way to go.
He's okay. He's a little dirty.
Wow.
That was a good one.
Did you see the other guy that had the thing and he like was rolled over and it was like trying to blow him back and he was on the fetal position, like holding on to it? That was the same game. It was great.
Fighting the terrain. Yeah. It was well done. Anyway, let's bring in our next guest on FT Live. The great 11-time All-Star, 7-time Cy Young Award winner. If I do the accolades, it'll take me the rest of the show. Roger Clemens joins us right now. Raj, how you doing?
What's up, man?
Hey, and I love the shirt. So also Raj representing and will give us a little insight on Teza, as we had Charge the Mound powered by Teza, one of our great partnerships that we've got on Foul Territory. So let's start there first. How did you find out about and get involved in Teza? And can you also run through like the history of dip in baseball and how this could be such a great alternative for players young and old?
Yeah, so just jump right in. My number 3 child, Casey. Casey played for the Blue Jays, just retired from playing professional baseball. And he brought it to my attention. He got with the Teza guys and the doctors and everybody else involved. Former running back there in Tampa, Mike Alstott. Mike's a big part of it. Did a couple things for him. I just thought it was a great idea when they pitched it to me. And I think they just signed the National Horse Cutters Association. So they got those guys on board. And, I never really dipped or chewed. I'll tell you one funny story down the road as we're talking about a movie I was in, the Cobb movie, and but yeah, I never dipped or chewed. So I think it's a great alternative. I talked to a bunch of guys, and when I tried it, like I said, it was more the mint flavor. I think is their most popular. They have one that is a relaxation one that you can do afterwards. I've got more than a handful of golfing buddies and actors that basically 24/7 have a tobacco pouch on their tongue. I mean, I think they got hair growing on their tongue from it, but it's a mess. But yeah, it's a great alternative to do it. I mean, you can actually, which we've done before. I've taken a tease a packet and put it in water. It's just like drinking iced tea. So you don't have to spit, you don't have to do any of that stuff, and it's it's just a great product. It's something that's out there that you can take it maybe even all down to some of these high school kids that get on tobacco way too early in their career. So the thing that I guess in the major leagues, if you think back in the early 80s, AJ won't know what I'm talking about, but the early 80s, some of those guys would be out there pitching and then you see a big old chaw in their mouth, and it actually has a tackifying effect. I guess they could use that now where you can't put anything on your glove or any pine tar or anything like that. But I think it was Dennis Martinez. I was in an all-star game and I ran out after he pitched, and this was before they threw out every baseball if it hit the dirt, the ground, or whatever. And I picked up the baseball after Dennis. Now, like I said, Dennis had a big old chew, and I think he wrapped bubble gum around it to have the sugar and the stickiness to it. And I grabbed that baseball. It was like, it's the only time in my career I think I ever spiked my fastball. There was so much stickiness to the baseball. So, but it's a good product. Like I said, my number 3 son Casey got me involved with them, and he does a lot of my stuff, getting us out there, and told me about y'all's program and getting on this call. So it worked out perfect.
Roger, Jake Peavy also. He wasn't that long ago. He used to do that. He used to have the
Jake,
big old wrap it in bubble gum, and he'd be like, "Oh, dude, ball so sticky. You guys were cheating before you guys were cheating."
Yeah, there was Velcro on some of those, man. I tell you what, no telling what the spin rate would have been back then.
Roger, how's the golf game?
Well, buddy, it can be better. We just got back from Tahoe. Great event. American Century does a great job. Finished middle of the road like I normally do. They take 2 points. It's Stableford system, so they take 2 points away from you on double bogeys. And the greens are so fast. I mean, I feel like when you're trying to, you feel like you're on defense a lot of the time. And but yeah, I see dead people still when I'm putting for double bogey. It gets nasty out there, and but Seth Curry and all the guys that are really good players, they play a lot of golf. They're scratch golfers. They put on a great show. I had a couple chip-ins, had a couple bright moments. Almost won a hole-in-one on the boat, lifted out on a par 3 for a boat, and but under that, great time. So it's always fun when you can play. When I get outside of Houston, where I'm at, to get out and play, and where you can play, a few days in a row. And of course, I see you in a couple of those events, Pards, down there in Orlando. I love playing at Orange Tree and Bay Hill.
Yeah, you skipped out on me this year. I was playing with your boy, and then I thought we were going to be partnered. And next thing you know, he's like, "Yeah, Clemens skipped out on me." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So, I told you, Orange Tree, I don't have any problem missing there. I mean, I hit 4-iron and I still go out of bounds.
Exactly.
Like I said, I told you the best shirt they should have out there for the logo is a golfer with a ball holding his hand out straight with a ball in it, and you're dropping every other hole. So that place will get you right in a hurry.
Hey, Rocket. So AJ is very active on social media, but for someone who's so outspoken, as you know, he was not on social media before this. And we were just talking about this maybe an hour ago on the show. Why are you now very active on social? And we've seen you pop up on ESPN. Obviously, you're on with us here. So have you kind of embraced interacting with fans? Are you enjoying it? What's been the pop?
Yeah, no, I've always interacted with fans. I'm on the move all the time, probably doing stuff, 44 to 48 weeks out of the year. A little bit slower now with my oldest one. We have twin grandboys. I'm Poppy Rocket now. But
Poppy Rocket.
Yeah. So they're 6 years old, and they keep me on the move. But no, Casey and Cody, who's with the Phillies, they keep pushing me out there. I don't mess with this stuff too much, but they handle it, and we push it out there. And when I have anniversaries on, my 300th win or something happens, and I start getting a lot of texts from my former catchers and different players I played with over the 24 years. We try and throw it out there. They're keeping me up to speed on all this craziness, but we have fun with it. And when the boys say, "Hey, Dad, you need to go on this podcast, you need to go on this Zoom call," they shove me out there. And kind of the same thing with my foundation, guys. I've had the Roger Clemens Foundation we just celebrated my 30th year of helping at-risk kids. I know Brock does a lot with the Jimmy Fund in Boston and different stuff like that too. So we still do stuff for them. I'll do some TV when the Red Sox get here to Houston. Still do stuff with the hometown team, or if the Yankees or any of the other former clubs call and ask me to talk or come in and see a couple of their young pitchers, we do it. I love doing it. I was one of those guys way back when. So, and again, as AJ knows, I have a special spot in my heart for all of my catchers who I stay up with from over the years. I did it up and did it right and did it well, but make no mistake about it, my catchers were very, very important to me when I was performing, and they paid attention to detail, which I loved and basically needed the most.
All right. Hey, Rocket, if you can see, I strategically placed. I'm not a Longhorn, but I knew we were having you on here. I strategically placed these horns.
You took that off the front of your car, huh? Off your Cadillac?
Yeah, off the Cadillac, man, right off the front. Stuck them right up there, coming out the ears.
Nothing
man.
like heavy duty zip ties, baby.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, you just mentioned Cody. I think it's cool, man, as a dad myself, and see your kids, play at the highest level, man. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on, well, one, how big of a Phillies fan are you? And two, what's it like as a guy who's had your career, who's been as successful as you? I'm sure seeing your son play at the highest level has got to feel almost as good as a lot of things that you've accomplished in your career.
Yeah, it's cool. I loved, all four boys played sports to a certain level, and some, obviously 3 of the 4 professional level. And I tell them, it's a privilege and an honor to be able to do that. That doesn't happen. You have to put the work in behind the scenes. And really, I would love Cody to even talk to you, because the job that you had to do, it's so difficult if you sit 5 or 6 days, especially now, everybody throwing 100 and throwing 2-seam bowling balls in there. And of course, as you guys know, there's no fastball counts anymore in baseball. I mean, everybody gets 3-2, and these guys throw 98 to 100, and they're throwing a slider or a changeup. So I kind of stay out of it as a dad. I think I would be more anxious or nervous for them if they were on the mound and stay and playing an everyday, a position player playing every day. I get to kick back and watch. If they ask me, I play the dad role. If they ask me a pointed question, I'll give them a pointed answer on it, and I really tell them with the pitch clock now to pay attention to the catcher. He's really calling the game. He's really, he's having the guys shake to a certain sign for a decoy. You just really have to be a student of the game and pay attention to what's going on to give yourself a little bit of an edge, if you can get an edge in the game. So I love it. I love it. He's with the Phillies. I've gotten to meet a lot of those guys. I was teasing Bryce Harper that when he was 14, he climbed my fence here in Houston to jump inside and hit my indoor facility, and when he was just a youngster. But those guys are great. They've taken him in. He's been sent down. Hopefully he'll get the call back up, because he can play both corner positions, both outfield, right and left field. And it's not good. I don't like to see it, but they bring him in the blowout games to pitch. So you guys know, I was teasing him, he got traded from Detroit to Philly. When he was with Detroit, it's bad when their highlight of the season hit. It was Cody on the mound striking out Ohtani. You know it's bad.
Yeah, he got Ohtani.
Yeah,
just tell him for me. Tell him for me to keep it above 31 miles an hour, because I still have the record.
That's
And
right.
I don't want anybody breaking it.
You threw that completely out of. I mean, it had to hit the top part of the K zone, I guess.
Oh
But,
yeah, I got Trevino some framing points on that one for sure.
Yeah, so he calls it his air cutter. He threw him an air cutter real nice and slow, about 60, and punched him out. And then he called me. He's like, Dad, I didn't even realize I reacted pumping my fist and everything. I said, no, it was good. It was a good reaction. I mean, it was natural. And he said, hey, you think if I get the ball and send it over, the dude will sign it? And I go, hell yeah, he'll sign it. So send it over there. So Ohtani signed it for him, and that was a pretty cool moment. I think it put us in the we're in the lead now. Father-son strikeouts, total strikeouts. With him punching out Ohtani, I think we passed the Stoudemire's. So there you go.
See, I didn't get to that.
The
one.
record
The
book.
introduction of Clemens.
That's true, you didn't get
Also, the leader in father-son
punches.
Hey, listen, while you guys are in front of those computers and all the stats, some dude just hit me one, and I guess it's verified. They had a great trivia question. AJ's going to love this.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the oldest friggin' Yankee to ever record a base hit? The oldest
That's
Yankee.
you?
And it was A, DiMaggio, B, Babe Ruth, C, Lou Gehrig, or D, none of the above.
And it's Roger
It's
Clemens.
Roger Clemens.
None of the above. Dogs, let's go.
But wait, I have a question.
All those,
now
all
this brings a
those.
question.
I think it was a knock in Colorado. I thought it was going out, almost missed first base. I get to second base for the double, and everybody's going nuts in the dugout. And I kind of pump my fist and jack around with them back. And then I realized I have no air in my lungs right now up here. I need to breathe. So I needed the camera to get off me quickly. I was trying to breathe.
Here's my question. So you got a hit, and you pumped your
Believe
fist and did a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now, I remember facing you. We
Yeah.
did that against you. Guess where the next one was going? At your freaking
No,
neck. So
no.
did the dude? Don't give me
Listen.
no bullshit. We got
No.
tape. We got tape
Listen
to
to me.
prove it.
Listen
But
to me.
now listen. Did the dude throw
Hold
it to
up.
you the next at bat? Did he bow tie you?
It won't. You can't. How do you miss my ass at the plate anyway? So, and I love the National League because if I did want to pitch and say, "Oh, you go to the National League, this or that," it was just the opposite. Then you didn't have to worry about one of your teammates getting hit or whatever. But Pards, listen. Just like they said, people hated you facing you on the other side, and they wanted you as a teammate. Some of the shit you were doing, I laughed, but I knew that if I was throwing to you, that if we were around the plate not getting calls, you would stand up and let the umpire know about that. We're going to be out here for 4 hours if you don't get your right hand out of your ball box.
You ain't
and start
kidding.
calling strikes. So
I ain't out there for 4 hours. Let's get
that's
this
why I
shit
love
done.
guys like you and Charlie O. Guys that I didn't have to stare at the umpire because he would stand up and chew the fat with him pretty quick.
Here you go. Okay, so you mentioned earlier that your kids have been helpful with appearances and everything. Now, when are they setting up the fight of all fights we already scheduled it, Madison Square Garden. It's going to be powered by Teza, and you responded to it. Mike Piazza versus Roger Clemens. We'll donate half of it to charity. You're going to raise a ton of money. When's that happening?
Oh, it's got to be a ton of money for me to get in there and try and whoop somebody's ass. I just turned 60, by the way, guys. You know what I'm saying? So I have to get out and try and run a little bit or do something. But no, I think what happened there, Casey informed me that Mike did some kind of podcast or something that came up, and he was having fun with it. And but yeah, those celebrity matches are always fun. There's been all-time great boxers going in the ring and get their ass kicked for less than that.
Yeah, but nobody has the name cachet of Piazza and Clemens.
Dude, that would sell out.
I mean, that would be crazy. If we could somehow make that happen. I don't care if you're 100 years old. You and Piazza are 100.
If it happens, you got to be
two bulls charging.
I'm not doing it unless you're my corner man.
That's fine.
There we go.
Man.
Can I throw in the towel at any point?
No, there's no throwing in the towel. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
There's no NBA flopping or any of that. You got to go.
By the way, it was our podcast.
You get roasted.
It was this podcast. That
he came on. He was like,
just
let's
FYI.
do it. He's like, that'd be fun.
Yeah, he actually did say that. Roger, what? Sorry, I'm laughing.
You think that's funny, don't you?
I do, because there's a lot of people that like to fight me over the years, so it's fine.
AJ will be the undercard.
Yeah, so it's like there'll be like 200 people though. It'd be like
there'd be people,
last man standing. How long can I make it?
It'd be a tag team. You're exactly right. It'd be people tagging in.
Roger, there's so many stories about you, and obviously I faced you, and I know a million times I faced you. You punched me out. I got some hits off you. Whatever. It was always fun. I knew it was going to be a challenge. What's the one story? Because I have a million stories too about me that some are true, some aren't true. What's the one story about you that gets a lot of play that you would say it's not really true?
Man, there could be a lot. You played 24 years. You hear a lot of stuff. I mean, I tell everybody everything on whatever is Wikipedia or whatever. I wish I had much fun as what's on the internet about you. You can't really control it, but I don't know, guy. As you know, you see me away from the field or when I'm not pitching. I think that's the reason why I got called back to play a couple extra years to come out of retirement. I enjoy keeping the team together behind the scenes, having a good time. But I was taught as a young kid, when I was out there on the mound, when I represented those 4 cities and I had their name across my chest, I was very serious about my work. And you have to go when you ask the question, Parge, you got to go back and look at my history and where people that I give thanks and that I'm the most proud of and have the most love for is my family. And it starts. My pops died, had a second heart attack when I was 9. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, 2 strong-willed women. I mean, my grandmother said it famously when she said, "Hey, if you're going to be a ditch digger, you be the best damn ditch digger in the country." And my mom, I watched her work 3 jobs. So when I hear people talk about us professional athletes or make an asinine comment about having a silver spoon or having it made, you got to do a little background check on your personnel before you make a dumbass statement like that. And it really does piss me off because, my mom worked 3 jobs. I didn't have a car in high school. Thank God we only lived about 3 miles from my high school. So I ran back and forth with my backpack from baseball practice to our townhome. And my mom's, my sisters remind me, but I remember my mom on 2 different occasions sitting at our kitchen table with her hands in her head, knowing that our electricity is going to get turned off within 24 hours. And so she worked her tail off. I mean, I helped her stock coolers. She was accountant by day, stocked some coolers in the afternoons on weekend, and we also cleaned office buildings. And she really is the one that pushed me once I got drafted early not to go to the majors, to continue my education. That's why I ended up at the University of Texas. And then again, I had 3 wonderful coaches. My high school coach was like a father figure to me. And then I played for a baseball lifer, Coach Wayne Graham, who took over the Rice program. And the Rice baseball program took them to a national title. And then obviously playing for the winningest coach at the time, Coach Cliff Gustafson at the University of Texas. And then, winning the national championship, beating Alabama. So there's stuff that goes on. Then you get to the pros and people see you behind that glove, staring behind that glove. And like anybody else, we're all locked in. Like I was talking really earlier to get off topic a little bit with Brock. It's not easy what he did, to sit there and pinch hits, what Cody's doing. I keep trying to tell Cody, when you're playing once every 4 or 5 days, you can't really worry about results. You got to have great at bats. I can't name since early, and I don't know if you guys can, name me a really good pinch hitter from say 1980 to current time. I mean, I think of maybe a Matt Stairs, possibly.
Yeah.
Lenny Harris.
Lenny Harris is the guy.
Yeah.
So you guys might have being versed in it every other day better than I, but it's a really hard role to do, and enjoy the moment. You don't play, but when you do play, you face Verlander and you're hitting 5th, or something crazy. So, that's the advice I try and give not only my boys, but your viewers that would be there now. Again, being, a 12-year-old dad, I get it all the time, or I get a cool letter from a single mom at my foundation about what to help her 12-year-old with. And I try and tell these dad at these baseball fields when I go out there, when you have a 12-year-old sitting at third base and we're sitting over here in a lawn chair and a ball's hit at your kid, it looks to us so slow and methodical that it's no problem. The kid kicks it around. It's such a fast-paced game for them at that age. So you just have to remember, I know that you were a great, friggin' high school player and everything, but understand the game, man. It's very difficult. I sit in the stands now with the work that I do with the Astros, and it looks, again, real methodical, real easy. Everything's happening. You get on the field and you turn it around, as you guys know, it's coming at you at a high rate of speed. You have to make this split decisions very quick.
Damn. All right, so I never dipped in my life, but I did. You made me put a tease in.
He's got some teasing going
What
right
you
now,
got,
baby.
what do you got? The mint? What flavor do you have?
I gave him the goods.
Cool mint chill.
Yeah.
We need the sweet. We need the sweet teaser version. That's what I want.
So check this out. So check this out. So I was in the movie Cobb with Tommy Lee Jones. I got to play. It was really cool because I got to play. Ronnie Shelton was the director. I got to play like a Christy Matheson 1915 pitcher. So I went in. They cut my hair real short. They gave me. They told me to grow my beard out a little bit, and it wasn't enough. So the makeup artist she dotted me up and made me look like I have a 5 o'clock shadow. And you fill out that thing about cigars and cigarettes. Do you dip, chew? No. Check all the boxes. And there's a scene out there where it's only a baseball scene, and I'm going to throw to Tommy Lee. He's playing Ty Cobb. He's got the split grip on the bat. He's going to hit a double off me, and we're going to bitch each other out a little bit and banter a little bit. It's the only scene there, and he slides in. Ty Cobb would slide in high with spikes, and he ends up hitting the catcher pretty good. And but again, it's the only baseball scene and actually in the movie. We're filming in Rickwood, Alabama. It's 100 degrees. I'm in an all-wool uniform, this old school uni, and Ronnie Shelton wants me to have like a dip or chew or something like it looks like in a little packet or whatever. Well, I said no problem. Just give me a little piece of black Tootsie Roll or licorice, and we'll be fine. And the prop person's supposed to have it. We're ready to go. Boom. We're on the field, getting ready to do the first scene. He says, "Where's the Tootsie Roll?" We couldn't find it. Nobody could find it. We had nothing around. The little bat boy that we have, he's got Red Man chewing tobacco in his back pocket. So I said, all right, to hell with it. Give it to me. So I take it and I sponge it up really tight, like the size of a dime or a quarter. And I put it in my bottom cheek. And within a minute, I'm in La La Land. I'm spinning like I'm on a carnival ride. And now I got to pump and go up over my head and do this old school windup. And I got to throw one high and tight on him. And that's what starts the scene. Well, I'm spinning and I wind up and I throw one about 85 to make it look real right at Tommy Lee. And I thought, you got the soft hats on back then. You didn't have helmets. So I barely miss him. He goes down the dirt and I'm like, oh my God, I about killed him. And I walk up to apologize. He jumps up and starts doing his line like, is that all you got? If I couldn't throw harder than that, I'd wear a GD dress or something. And I realize he's doing the scene. So I just jump in and start doing the scene. But that was my, other than one other time hunting way back when, that was the first time I had a little chewing tobacco in my bottom lip. And it was, I have no idea. I'm thinking I have no idea how somebody could do that and pitch with that. You wouldn't be able to see the signs that you put down.
Yeah, we got a much better alternative nowadays. Plus, good to know that he's sending messages even when he's not on the big league mound.
Wait, better role for you, that or Skidmark in Kingpin.
Yeah, that's bullshit right there. You bring that up.
What do you mean?
No. Yeah. So I'll do a quick one on that one. I was supposed to be in Dumb and Dumber, and the team wouldn't let me go. We are going to film one day somewhere. And
wait, were you going to be Seabass?
I was going to be Seabass, kick his ass Seabass. Yeah. So, and the Fairley brothers, they love to have like a New England, athlete or whatever in their movies. So I said, listen, they're not going to let me come. I'm kind of disappointed. It looked like it was going to be fun. But Cam was with the Bruins at the time. And I said, get Cam. So Cam had kind of a Canadian accent, and most of the lines in there are for like a shit-kicking truck driver. I'm going to kick his ass, Seabass, and all that. So they go, we're going to get you. We're going to get you. So you just stay tight. So the following winter, they called and they said, all right, we got a role for you. It's in the off season. We're filming in Reno. We're flying you in there. Take one day. We're filming at night, and you can do it. And I said, I'm not going anywhere, boys, till you tell me. I know you guys got a crazy nickname. What's my name in the movie? And they go, well, if we tell you that, you won't come. And I said, what is it? And he goes, well, you're Skid Mark. And I go, you guys are freaking crazy. And I said, they go, all right. I said, what am I going to be this time? They go, you're going to be another shit-kicking truck driver. You're going to come into a bar, and Randy Quaid's going to be dancing with your girl, and that's where Woody's going to be with you, Harrelson, and here we go. And but yeah, the hat I had on, I had an earring in. I had 3 tattoos of the girls that I had dated or married, and they crossed 2 of them out, and I had the current one on my bicep. And then my hat was the best. My hat said truck driver hat said ass, grass, or cash. No one rides for free. So I had a big old mustard colored vest on. Yeah, so there we go. So we it was Woody was into basketball from that White Men Can't Jump. So we played basketball, ran up and down the court from about 11 a.m. till 2 in the afternoon. Then we'd go rest, and we filmed at from like 11 p.m. till 2 in the morning in the middle of nowhere in Reno. So, but it was a good one. Those guys are crazy. Their movies are crazy.
That is crazy. That would have been cool if he was in Dumb and Dumber too.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That was Seabass and Skid
That
Mark.
was a classic.
Yeah.
Hey, Roger, I want to ask you. So, when you played with the Astros and you had the setup for a little bit where you could pitch the home games, how did that come about? And AJ said that same year was it?
It was the same year.
Same year. Was Barry jealous?
Oh gosh.
Did
Dude,
you know
Barry
about
Bonds,
this?
Did you know that Barry was pissed at you? Because he goes, why can't I just play the home games? And I said, Barry, you're a left fielder, dude. You got to play every day. He's like, that's bullshit. How's Roger getting this and I can't get it? I'm like, because you play every day.
Yeah, that got its own life too. That obviously never happened, but somebody had put that in there. They were enticing us to try and to get me to come out of retirement again and play for the hometown discount. But I think one day after I pitched, I stayed back and didn't travel because one of the young guys, we were in a big playoff game in high school. And then I got on a plane, paid obviously my own way, and went to that city. So that got a lot of late life that I wish I would only pitch home game. That'd have been a great deal.
That's as good as it gets right there.
Yeah.
Dude, by the way, I'm still. We've talked about this. I'm still pissed at you.
I had to travel on the road, go on the road because there's too many nice golf courses. Go
By
play
the way,
a
I'm
few
still
golf
pissed
courses.
at you about that. We talked about this playing golf one day. The first game you pitched as an Astro was against us, the Giants, and dude, your strike zone was this big.
Pinch yourself.
Oh,
Pinch
dude.
yourself.
Even the umpire the next day is like, I'm sorry, I got a little excited. I'm like,
oh yeah, I bet he apologized.
Because you couldn't reach the balls, right? It's 2 strikes. The crowd in Houston's going crazy.
The only one you got to look at that was bitching and moaning was 3-2 on Barry, and I painted his tail and walked straight off. And that would be 2 strikes now, especially how they pinch you east and west, and I would love it now because they call that high one, and then you drop Mr. Splitty on you. That would be I'd hear all y'all bitching and moaning.
Well, what do you think about all the new stuff going on right now? Pitch clock and shift restrictions and all that. Are you into this refresh brand?
Middle of the road. I'm kind of middle of the road on the analytics. You know, I call them propeller heads. I've had to talk to a few of them, talk some sense into them. When you got a guy out there that's your main go-to guy and you're thinking about pulling him in the 5th inning, they're gonna have to, with all the changes, they're gonna make a change in a quality start. It's gonna be 5 innings and 5 runs and all this craziness. But I like the pitch clock. I work fast. I called probably 90% of my game from the mound with my looks. Again, that's what, somebody hit a foul ball or something, AJ would be staring right at me, and I've got the next pitch in motion. And every once in a while, we'll come out and have a quick talk on when the game gets to the crucial part of the game. Which now for guys, it's the 5th inning. It's not the 7th or 8th inning when you're out there. The big talks that I had with the different teams that I talked to in spring training, the big deal was for the veteran major league guys, it was going to be an issue because they never worked with the pitch clock. You saw the minor league guys that came up, especially in spring training, or were with the club the first month or two. They had already adjusted to it because they had it in the minor leagues. So, again, what I told him to beware of is when AJ would notice the time he put in behind the plate is as he puts the signs down and you're just going to throw it, you become from a power pitcher to a power thrower. You're not thinking about how you're going to break this guy down within 1 or 2 pitches, or maybe his second or third at bat, how you're going to get one of these key players out that are hot in the games on the line, because you're just grabbing the ball. The catcher puts a sign down, you grab it and heave it with no purpose whatsoever what you're trying to do. So it's really important now I think the guys behind the plate have an enormous job now to try and keep these guys on par, to understand how to execute the pitch and not be a thrower. I mean, most of your relievers are power throwers because they're coming at you with elbows and legs. I mean, I tell people sometimes it looks like a blender with the lid off of it, but they're doing it for 20 pitches. So I think it's just real important for starters to pay attention to detail and still pitch, even if you don't have your 95, 96 miles an hour. Now, I tell people I won 200 games because I had great stuff for those games. I won another 160 or 70 because I got out of second and third with or bases loaded with 1 out. And those are the games that you, when you're driving home and you're mentally fried, that you really enjoy the most. Or after the game, I'm sitting with my catcher and they're like, man, I have no idea how we got through that game with that, with that going on. Those are the games that you really, are thankful for, and that you really mentally, it's been a mental challenge for you.
Yeah, you're talking about pitchers not having their 95, 96. I want to know how much velo the icy hot added. If you didn't have the 95, 96, do you go up under theirs and add a little bit more, or what?
I love these fables, man. They're so great. It's I mean, it went from a little bit getting on my upper inner thigh in one game. I was out there stomping around like a quarter horse, to where now he puts it on his friggin' sack every time he goes out there. I go, yeah, I really want to put Red Hot on that there before I go out. That's fun. That's why I introduced the mouthpiece, right? You had to have a mouthpiece so you didn't, bite your tongue or break your teeth. So yeah, the best was one game. It was freezing, and I put some Red Hot on the back of my calves and up on my inner thighs. I switch T-shirts sometimes, or long sleeves, whatever it is, in between innings. I'll run up and switch real quick. And I wanted to switch sliding shorts, so I put on a tighter pair of biking pants. And when I did, the Red Hot got on the inside of that, and of course it got up around my sack and everything else. and on my way to the mound, I'm like, this is a problem. And I was on fire. So, and I think it did help my velo, actually, probably that game. I picked up a couple miles an hour. Well,
there you go.
One thing led to another. In New York, El Duque finds out that he thinks that I put it there to get going. And he was real lethargic, so he tried it. He ran in so fast. He ran in so fast after the first inning. We held the game. This was before a time clock or anything, obviously. And he was in the shower. He was supposed to be on the mound in the second inning doing his warm-ups. We couldn't find him. They said he was in the shower with soap trying to get the thing off, the Red Hot off of him. Because he was on fire.
There's also, forget the icy hot, there's also, I don't know if this is a rumor or not, that you took Viagra before every game to get the blood flowing.
I don't know anything about that.
That was another famous one about you.
Not about
Roger,
me. I think that was about.
I take one.
I think that was about Giambi parts, but I appreciate the thought. But
hey, it's fine. I take one before every foul territory. So
listen,
that's why you're so damn good.
To get me ready for the podcast.
Yeah, they said that who was it? It was one of the guys were with the it was you got atomic bomb, the 3 levels of this stuff, of this Red Hot stuff, of this, and it had the problem about it when I put it on my shoulder. I'm allergic to menthol, so it would kind of almost break my skin out too. But you had regular atomic bomb, then you had Red Hot, and then you had this stuff these dudes were putting on called Capsulin. And you talking about peeling your skin off. Some of these guys and some of these batting practice coaches who had bone rubbing on bone would put this Capsulin on. And I mean, I tried a little bit on both calves one night. I could not believe how hot that stuff is. It's insane. But yeah, no, it all sounds great. They're great stories, boys. It'd be good for a movie.
There you go. Good for a movie. Good for a movie. Good for a podcast. I got one more. No more talking about icy hot and sacks and all that stuff.
That's great. That's great, part.
Yeah, I kind of want to know. If you were commissioner for a day, what is something that you would add, take out of today's game? Something that you want to see change. Something that you would want to add yourself.
Well, when you ask the question, it's an easy answer. With all the changes they made, it's my pet peeve. They call it a foul pole. When you hit it, it's a fair pole. Start referring to it as a fair pole. It's a fair pole. So
I feel like that we can actually get done for you, Rocky. Like that's like a very reasonable claim. Sometimes people really go wild with that question. Like that's just like I feel like that's a simple solution.
Scott, listen, hey, when you go off air every time, just make sure you guys say it like you're ending it when you're promoting something. It's a fair poll. Anything else? Heck, they still got their walk-up music. You have to change with the times. I mean, some of my NCAA college high-profile coaches that I know in college football, they've really had to make the adjustment where you gotta let guys do their swag, especially now with the portal. Everybody will transfer. If you don't let the guys play the music in the locker room, and if you don't have their TV in front of their locker with their highlight plays on, showing them and their swag and all that, so you still got your music. You still got to be some entertainment. It has changed, obviously, with the guys celebrating and doing their stuff, but. Man, I don't know right now. Again, I like the speed of play right now. I like the pitch clock. I think enough is enough with the checking the guys coming off the field. That looks. I mean, that's just cheesy, chintzy, whatever. I mean, again, I think if you asked 10 hitters in April and in October in playoff time when it's freezing cold, if you would rather have these dudes that are throwing 100 have a little control of the ball in some shape or form, they would agree with it. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I think, I love the game the way it's going. I love our superstars that are playing right now. We did a segment before the All-Star game on Ohtani. It's incredible what he's doing. He's got the body to handle both. For the Angels to re-sign him, we're going to see some stuff in the next 10 days. It's going to get heated up on who's buying and who's selling. Can't believe where the Mets are at right now. The Rangers are holding tough over my Astros here at home. A bunch of injuries here with Jordan and Altuve. So just keeping an eye on it with these guys and what they're doing. And but again, I think your biggest thing of the Angels, are they going to be buyers or sellers? And where Ohtani's going to go, if you're going to keep him, you're going to have to give him a chunk of the team. You're going to have to sell a chunk of the team to him. And,
no, you can't do that though.
Oh, they're going to have to find a way to do it. Do something when he's done. When he's done,
cash, baby.
Yeah, they're going to have to figure out a way to pay him. Down the road, one of those contracts that pay you $1 million for the next 80 years.
It's going to be the new Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're going to have to get really creative. Let me tell you.
Rocket. Last thing before you go, you mentioned, first of all, I just want to say you'd be throwing at these dudes left and right if they were flipping bats and doing all this shit. So don't give me I'm okay with it, because you'd be throwing at dudes left and right.
I've adjusted. That's back then when you weren't supposed to do it.
Oh, okay.
I've adjusted to it.
Oh, you've changed,
man.
You've changed. I like it. You've changed. No more icy hot. No more throwing at dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to face you now.
Yeah.
I mean, much more comfortable at bat.
Listen, we've got plenty of ice, baby. It only hurts for a minute. We got plenty of ice. And you would stick your body in front of it anyway to get to first base.
Exactly, because then I'd have to strike out.
Right.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Hell yeah. And then second of all, there's rumors. Now, you used to come out to Creed higher, I know, when you were a Yankee, right? In Yankee Stadium. So you had your walk-up music. Don't roll your eyes. There's rumors of a reunion tour next year.
No, you missed it. Lincoln Park.
No, there was Creed for a little while. There was Creed. You had Creed.
I don't know play it. Well, I can't. That's how, when you get old, baby. How old are you?
I'm 46.
You don't remember it. Damn, you're still. No
Wait,
wonder
Creed
you're
or Lincoln
young.
Park?
He came out to Creed.
Oh, okay.
And I remember but Creed reunion tour, we're going, you and I.
Well, I'm in.
Hey, he's my neighbor, man. Scott Stapp's my neighbor.
There you go. They're doing a
There's our
There's your
That's
hookup.
You can only name drop twice a month, and I know you've used it up already.
Hey, take it easy, Skid
Brock
Mark. Take it
already
easy,
said,
Skid Mark.
yeah, exactly. Brock already dropped the Creed singer and Viagra, so he used his two today. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use
All
mine
right,
too.
so good. You guys will go on the Creed tour.
Yeah, let's go.
Go for it. You guys let me know how it goes.
Which one of those bobbleheads on your desk is AJ?
There's a lot of.
Oh, we got a lot of AJs.
I know how it works. Hey, I know how it works at home for him.
Yeah,
His only goes forward and backwards. Yes, it does not say no. He's everything he does. His bobblehead goes this way.
Yeah,
only.
honey, what do you want me to do? Yes.
There it is.
Wait,
Yes.
show him
There
that
it
he will
is.
like that one.
I can't.
Show him.
I can't get.
You can't reach it.
I
Wait,
can't.
hold on, Raj.
There,
This is my favorite one that we have, and the hair I think is real.
we can get a. Hold on. See what
Here,
we got on the
here,
board.
hold it. They'll give you a close up.
Does it
Hold
look
on,
like
here
me?
it comes. Single them up, baby.
I don't know. We're trying here. Hold on.
It's coming. It's coming.
Zoom in.
There we go.
Wow.
That's AJ.
Man, looking like Mr. Green Jeans. Oh, look at the almost a mullet too.
Oh yeah, it was nice. Look at this real hair too. They shaved it off me.
Yeah, they give all of his hair, and then they put it on these
starting
bobbleheads,
to fall
and it's
out.
fall. Well, it's
my.
about time. It's about damn time. Roger, it was awesome having you on,
Yeah.
man. Really great to catch up, and again, also thanks for informing us more about our great partnership with Tiza. And
thanks, boys.
Let's throw that up there real quick before Roger goes to show everyone because we got this.
Appreciate it,
running.
man. That was
TizaEnergy.com. Use the discount code FOUL for 20% off your order. Again, Raj, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having me on, man. I'll see y'all down the road.
Yeah,
All right,
sure.
Roger,
See you on the
thanks.
golf
Sounds good.
course.
Peace out, boys.
And we can show it one more time. We'll throw it up there for you. Discount code is FOUL for 20% off your first order. There it is at TizaEnergy.com.
I'm gonna be all hyped up today. I got Tiza. I got Twix candy pop.
Yeah, and you're messing up my mic right now.
Dude, sorry,
The
bro.
podcast crowd. Yeah, we have sometimes there's trolls. Oh, I heard some sound off for 5 seconds. Oh, I'm sorry. AJ was crumpling up his
Eating
wrapper.
his Twix pop.
Yeah, relax. All right, all you rating and reviewers. Let's slap hands, shall we?
Oh.
Back at it on Wednesday. That was a good one today. Locaine will join us. Russ Dorsey, Lucy Burge is back. J.D. Davis from the San Francisco Giants. And Freddie Peralta. Fastball, Mr. Smiles, Freddie. And that's it. Brock, you had a good week.
Solid. I think I'm actually back on Friday. I was supposed to be.
Look at
Yeah,
you working
I'm
hard
like,
this week.
Yeah, I'm working.
Twice
I'm
in
working
one
this
week?
What?
Yeah, well, I was just
Yeah.
on like 3 days ago. I guess it's not the same week, but
Yeah.
I
Man,
was
you're gonna
supposed to. I was supposed to be Monday, but I got switched. I think I'm Friday again. So
Are you back sore from
Yes.
carrying FT?
Yeah, well, my back is kind of sore from sitting in this chair for 2 hours.
That's it. That's it. And you
Okay,
got to go
but-
overtime when Rogers.
Yeah, obviously. And by the way, happy anniversary, David Cohn. Today's the day he threw his perfect game. 1999, I believe.
I wonder if the
Yes.
bullpen knew he was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
they thought it was a no-hitter.
Mariano was like, I'm taking this day off today.
Yep.
Good stuff. Tommy Kahnle, Roger Clemens, and Mr. Rosenthal. We'll
Good
see
shit,
you
Brock.
on Wednesday on FT Live.